to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield in Arkadelphia today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Chris Babb here with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. And each week this interview is brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm, and we would like to take time before we start to lend our prayers and support to the family of Austin Wingfield, Miss Wingfield and son Roger, Kadra, Lane, Clark, and the rest of the Wingfield family. Lots of a big family in Clark County, and the loss of Austin Wingfield will hit a lot of people. So our thoughts and prayers and support with the family of Austin Wingfield as they deal with the passing of Mr. Wingfield earlier this week. Coach Shucker, we come tonight, senior night. Only have time for one segment tonight because we did just honor the seniors. And before we get into that and then talk about tonight's game, let's go back to Waldron last week. It was a game which we taught in this space that it was a game which you had the advantage on the field. You just had to come out and execute. I thought your players did that particularly well early and kind of solidified the game in the first half of the first quarter even.
Yeah, very, very proud of our guys for coming out and doing what they're supposed to do. And, that was the whole deal of the night is play Badger football, go execute like we're supposed to execute, and the game will take care of itself. And that's essentially what happened.
Let's talk about the senior night. This week, I want to talk a little bit about the thing you did this week. We saw it come out, the school district social media pages shared a video of the seniors going around to a faculty or staff member that had impacted them over their time in Arkadelphia. It could be 12 years, 2 years. We had elementary teachers, high school teachers, junior high teachers. Tell us a little bit about the reasoning behind that and what you saw as you were going around with all of those seniors.
Yeah, this is something that we've not done before. This is the first year to do it, and something that I've really thought about doing. I've seen other places do it. I think it's a great idea and was able to implement it this year with our senior group. Really, it just comes back down to just going back and saying thank you and appreciating those that support us and, getting our kids to be seniors. And the way we explained it to the seniors when we started was we want to present your jersey to somebody in our school district that has impacted your career as a Badger, as a student, as a person, set a good example for you and modeled, good character, all the things to get you to be where you're at today. You're a senior, this is your last year, and this is an opportunity to say thank you to somebody in our district and that represented you. And so we did that, went around this week and gave each senior gave a jersey to somebody in our district that impacted their life, and it was a very very good thing in a lot of different ways. We had a lot of people get emotional whenever seniors were presenting their jerseys. We didn't let anybody know we were coming.
Right.
We didn't give anybody a heads up. So we just showed up on random day and presented a jersey to them. So they weren't expecting it, and they were shocked and very happy. And it was a very good deal, and that's something that we're wanting to do moving forward as well in the future years.
Of course, many of them were teachers, some were not, but it just kind of showed the impact that a teacher can have no matter what age, whether it's a student athlete's been here 1 or 2 years or whether they've been all 12, just the impact that teachers can have in the lives of students.
Yeah, we had teachers, we had office workers, we had a custodian, we had all coaches, we had a lot of different people that we'd like to say thank you to in our district, and it was a really good opportunity to do that, as well as, put some more emphasis on our seniors,
right.
Being able to recognize them again as well through that.
It is a time where you recognize senior night tonight, as we just took part in senior night ceremonies for fall student athletes and band, cheer, dance, football team, half the student body almost. But it is
it's awesome.
it is a good senior football program, a team that's been to 2 semifinals. I know you talked with Chase earlier this week that they're looking to get over that hump, and that starts tonight. I guess continues tonight in tonight's game against Ashdown. Arkadelphia 3-0 in conference, 2 conference games left. Step out of non-conference play next week at Fordyce. But talk about the as we come down, I mean, Coach, we got 2 conference games left. You only got 5. You know, you don't have the 7 that a lot of conferences have, but only 5. And but you have 1 tonight against Ashdown. Talk about what we can expect to see tonight from the Ashdown Panthers.
Yeah, you know, they're a typical Ashdown team, very athletic. They're going to be well coached. They do what they do. Offensively, they're going to be trying to run the football. They're a run-first offense. They will mix it up and throw a pass in there every so often, try to get the ball in space to some of their better players. But essentially they're going to be a run-first offense. They're going to be under center. And we've got to be disciplined in recognizing formation, getting aligned, and then we've got to be ready to play downhill and get the ball carried down. And so, you know, anytime you play Ashdown or any kind of athletic team like they are, we've got to be good tacklers. And if we don't get them down, they can create explosive plays on us. And then defensively, you know, historically Ashdown's strength is their defense, and that's no different this year. You know, their defense is the strongest part of their team. Coach Richardson, their head coach, is a defensive-minded guy, and he does a really good job with their defense, making sure that they are sound in what they do. And a lot of times, you know, they give some fits at times. Their defense is a athletic defense. They play well. So we've got to execute offensively. We've got to take care of the ball. We've really got it comes down to the line of scrimmage tonight for us. We've got to control the line of scrimmage and make sure that we can get good gains in our run game, and then, you know, be able to pass protect and give our quarterback time to find open receivers. So really just comes down to execution offensively and then taking care of the football.
All right, an abbreviated interview with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker this evening, as we did have our senior night festivities, and kickoff is just a few minutes away. So, Coach Shucker, thanks for taking your time out. And I know that we say that this time to close this interview brought to you by Austin Wingfield State Farm, but I know when I mentioned that in the outset of this interview, it's a family that has had a lot of impact on the football program, between whether it's family, and obviously Clark's a member of your football team, and so I know that you share those thoughts as well.
No doubt. Just a great family, family in our community, great supporters of our athletic programs in general, you know, our football program. Our hearts, prayers go out to them and their loss.
We normally say give them a call on Monday and stop by 620 Pine Street, and you can do that later, but right now let's give our thoughts, prayers, condolences, and support to the family of Austin Wingfield, State Farm Insurance Agent in Arkadelphia. We'll be back with more of the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show after this timeout.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Go Badgers!
Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner Rogers Manning & Plyler says, Go Badgers! Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. You see the seniors walking out in front of, on the sideline of All Care Field. It is senior night as we recognized all of those seniors earlier. The entire senior group will walk out, but only captains will be Adrian Smith, Hunter Blakeney, Chase Vantelborg, Maddox Atkins, and Noah Hurd. Chris Babb, Chase Hartzell with me. Chase, as we take a look at tonight's game, this is an Arkadelphia team that is looking for another string in the solid performances in 4A7 conference play.
Well, you're right, Chris, and really the key to success up to this point has been those early starts. We go back to that Waldron game last week, jumping up 35-6 by the end of the first quarter. That was caused by great play in all three elements of the game, on offense, on defense, on special teams. Everyone was executing. It's going to be a fun matchup tonight, and it'll be interesting to see if they can keep that momentum rolling against Ashdown.
Chase, we talked about it with Coach Shucker. This is an Ashdown team that's going to be athletic. Arkadelphia's numbers, though, I do believe there will be several Ashdown players that will go both ways. You would expect that at some time, the depth might catch up to the Panthers.
Without a doubt, and make no mistake, this is a very scrappy Ashdown team, much like the Ashdown teams of the past. And when you're playing scrappy teams like this, the key is always to win the battle in the trenches, as Coach Shucker was talking about. This is really where that non-conference experience against teams like Camden Fairview, like Hot Springs, as well as Texarkana, where you're facing larger lines and some of the best lines in the 5A classification. This is really where that experience pays off, because now you are well equipped to face off against some of your conference foes right there in the trenches.
We mentioned the captains for Arkadelphia, for Ashdown. Nash Brown, number 0. 3, Caleb Blankenship. Ty Marks, a running back and linebacker. And also Tremel Williams, a 6 foot, 170-pound defensive back. Left to right, Hurd, Blakeney, Vantelborg, Atkins, and Adrian Smith. Arkadelphia looks like they have won the toss. Head official Mike Rottinghouse getting the instructions, and we are about ready for action. The Badgers have gathered behind their flag. Arkadelphia won the toss and will receive, and the Badgers will be on offense first. Chase, you expect the Badgers to try to set the tone early offensively?
Without a doubt. You look back to last week, you get an early 3-and-out, and that really set up the tempo for the offense, because Braden Wagner comes in special teams, makes a great return, and then it's only 9 yards to go. Fast start. If Arkadelphia can get a strong start in all three elements of the game, shouldn't be any different results. We should see another Badger victory here tonight. Well, Chris, last week a bit of an unusual week, as we had 2 of our key members of the crew missing. We had Dr. Jim Rothwell missing on stats, but filling in for him was Dr. Jeff Root from right here in Arkadelphia. But tonight, we are back together in the booth. Welcome back, Jeff. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you so much. It is so much fun to be right back here with you, Jim. That noise you hear behind us is the action of, here we go, we got the volume now. The Arkadelphia Badgers coming onto the field. Chase, what I wanted to say is thank you so much. You did a great job last week along with Chris Babb, and I was watching every moment of it, doing a little stat work from home because the camera work was so good I was able to do that. And so we have the whole team here ready for this action tonight. It's senior night here in Arkadelphia. It has meant a lot. We've had a large crowd turnout, as you would expect, senior night. And it's 72 degrees. Chase, you couldn't hope for a better night.
Not at all. When you're looking at the season ahead, you're always hoping for these cool fall nights. Not too cold, just a little bit of a light jacket, maybe a light breeze going for you. This is picturesque football weather for us here tonight, Jeff. You couldn't ask for anything better, especially for a special night like this.
Arkadelphia Badgers have been down to the end zone, now coming back to the sideline, and they are going to receive. Interesting, you win the toss, you can defer to the second half, but Arkadelphia wants the football.
And that's been the key to success for the Badgers this year, is getting the jump early, being able to establish that momentum on offense, because the defense has proven time and time again they are well capable of making those stops. Why not provide the offense an opportunity to go ahead and get them off on the right foot, and then the defense walks in with even more confidence going into that next drive.
Ashdown is one fascinating team. They blew out Waldron, a big win. They've lost a couple of losses, had a couple of games they've lost badly, but of course they were to a couple of awfully good teams in Malvern and also Nashville, and so they come in. It's hard to know what to expect from this Ashdown team. They've got some talent. They've had a couple of bad losses, but to good teams. Now they're coming in to play Arkadelphia, and they've got an opportunity to really turn their season around with a win against Arkadelphia, but the Badgers are also one team on a roll right now.
They are 3 straight wins to start conference play for Ashdown. This is a team that, regardless of their win or loss record going into any given matchup with the Badgers, they seem to play Arkadelphia exceptionally well. Last year, you look at the score, and you may think, well, it was a runaway for the Badgers. They won that game 41-12. But, Jeff, going into the break, it was 7-6 in favor of Arkadelphia. The Badgers able to break away in that second half, but not without a lot of effort. These Panthers have proven that they can hang with the Badgers time and again. We'll see if they can do that again here tonight and perhaps even walk away from Badger Stadium with the victory.
Now, the Badgers have a long winning streak going on against Ashdown, but they've had some close games. 2 years ago, 33-27. That was a close game. They've had a 44-26 game. They lost in 2016. Since then, they've won every year. So Arkadelphia is on a nice streak against Ashdown. But the Panthers are always a challenge because they have athletic players, and we'll see if Arkadelphia will be tuned up on senior night to play well tonight against Ashdown.
Kason Hopkins getting ready to tee up the ball for Ashdown. Got our Price & Company kickoff coming up here.
And Arkadelphia is set to receive the kick. Not expecting a deep kick. Both deep men standing at about the 20-yard line. Now they're going to move one up to the sideline looking for that short kick as the kicker lines up showing that that's what he would like to do. Let's see if they'll kick it short or try to kick it deep. It's going to be a short, high kickoff that is sailing out of bounds. This is going to be good field position because that ball went out of bounds, I think, before it got to the 40-yard line.
And on those illegal procedure penalties, you usually see the ball brought out to the 35, but that kick was so short that it's probably going to be ruled right where it went out of bounds. And as you mentioned, Jeff, excellent field position for the Badgers to start out.
Yeah, a couple of Badgers kind of standing in the way, but the officials have figured it out, and they're about to place the ball. They haven't placed it yet. Let's see where they'll put the ball. I think about the 41, maybe the 42 is where Arkadelphia is going to start this possession. Arkadelphia offense now coming out onto the field, and the officials are going to be able to place the ball down. And I think now they're saying a 5-yard penalty against Ashdown. So they're going to mark off 5 more yards and put the ball down at the Arkadelphia 47-yard line. What good field position after the opening kickoff. None of the pads have hit each other yet, but Arkadelphia has good field position at the 47-yard line. On first down, a running play. Hit in the backfield and losing a couple of yards is Buckley on the first attempt of the night. And that's what we expect to see from Ashdown. They're going to come with enthusiasm, they're going to come with some athletes, and they're going to come in a crowd on defense trying to stop this Arkadelphia offense. Loss of 2 on first down. On second down and 12, Badgers line up quickly. They'll send Buckley in motion, and they'll throw to him into the flat. In the right flat at the top of your screen, he's going to gain a couple of yards back to the original line of scrimmage, or maybe just a hair short of that, and it's third down and long coming.
And don't be surprised if you see quite a few passes and runs to the outside tonight. As we mentioned, Ashdown very strong on the defensive front. We saw that on the first play selling out to go for the run, but sometimes if you get a little over anxious, you can find some opportunities downfield or to the outside. We'll see if the Badgers can capitalize on those opportunities.
Third down, 11 yards to go. The clock is a bit of a problem right now. It has not started yet, having a bit of a malfunction, and so they're going to work on that. And as they do, we got a break in the action. But we're going to keep it right here, Chase, because it still says 12 minutes left in the first quarter, and we've had 2 plays go by, a running play and a pass reception that was tackled inbounds. So the officials have to figure out how much time should be on the clock and then let the press box know. Chris Babb has gone into the next booth to try to help out a little bit. And we are going to wait a moment, Chase, but when they do get this set up, it doesn't really matter how much time is left because we're just beginning the ball game, first possession of the game. What we're going to see, though, is a third down and 11 coming for Arkadelphia.
And this is going to be a big play for both sides. For Arkadelphia, you don't want your first drive to stall out, and for Ashdown, want to put the Badgers in a tough spot to where they're either forced to punt the ball away or try to convert a long 4th down.
McBride back to pass, throws to the sideline. That ball is caught short of the first down, and he's tackled 1 yard short of the first down. That was a good throw, good catch. He got a bit of a run after the catch, but tackled on the far side is Bailey, and it's 4th down and 1.
Bailey, one of the seniors being recognized tonight. McBride's going to be satisfied with that result because although he did not pick up the first down, he made this a much more manageable 4th down. As you mentioned, Jeff, just 1 yard shy of the first down marker.
No running back in the formation. It's 4th and 1. They're going to quarterback sneak it. McBride is a tough inside runner, and he's got plenty of yardage for a first down, and he's still running across the 40, across the 30. What a big run on a quarterback sneak by McBride.
That was a run of almost 15 yards for Cade McBride on the quarterback sneak. You don't see that too often, but he got a great push from his offensive lineman. He's also got that mental toughness to go right at the defense, and that was more than enough for the Welch Funeral Home first down.
Back to pass, McBride looking deep. Now he rolls to his right, under pressure, throws it to the sideline. I think that's a catch. It is a catch down at the 12-yard line.
Another Welch Funeral Home first down. There you can see Nash Brown trying to close in on the ball and ball hawk it a bit there, but it was nice placement by Cade McBride, able to find Nick Williams on the outside. However, this one will be coming back due to a holding penalty.
Holding call. Probably that occurred when he rolled to his right under some pressure. Somebody just didn't quite let go as he changed direction on the play. He did make a beautiful pass down to Williams, though. First down, 20 yards to go. They'll mark it back to the 37-yard line. On first down and 20, they'll fake the handoff and throw into the flat. Here's Nick Williams. He'll make one man miss. He'll make another miss. Inside the 30, he's knocked down at the 29-yard line, but a good gain, and he got most of that penalty yardage back.
Well, Nick Williams doing a great job there of responding to the adversity of the penalty. He gets a gain of what will officially be ruled an 8-yard pass play.
So it's second down and 12 yards to go. Cade McBride looking to the sideline for the play. Atkins, bottom of your screen, left side of the line of scrimmage, short side of the field. 3 receivers, top of the screen. Back to pass. He'll look short side, out of the backfield, a catch, and a gain up to the 23-yard line. Good catch, and Buckley was able to hold on after a big hit. Third down coming.
Excellent form tackle in open space there for Antonio McDuffie. You saw the little audible there at the beginning of the play. D'Angelo Buckley switched sides, and he found an opening in space.
Third down, 6 yards to go. Under pressure, a short pass to Buckley. A good block on the outside. He's to the 15. He's to the 10. Buckley is close to the end zone. He is there. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Great pass and an even better run after catch for D'Angelo Buckley. Ironically, number 22 coming up with a 22-yard touchdown reception on his senior night, and the Badgers draw first blood with that Farm Bureau touchdown.
Really good blocking by the wide receivers, allowing him a lane down the right sideline, and he got in for the touchdown. Seth Molinari's kick is up and good. He is just as consistent as he can be. It's Arkadelphia 7. Ashdown yet to field the football. 9:09 left. We're in the first quarter tonight. We'll be back with more Badger football momentarily. You're in tune to Arkadelphia Badger football.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
Back to action. Ashdown's about to get the ball for the first time. Arkadelphia converted on 4th down and 1 with a quarterback sneak for 17 yards and then proceeded to score after a holding penalty, put them back by 10 yards. A 23-yard touchdown pass, McBride to Buckley. 9:09 left in the first quarter, and Arkadelphia leads at 7-0. That key block was laid by Mr. Carson Carrozza. What a great block that was to open up the outside.
It really did. Great spacing. That allowed for D'Angelo Buckley to get to the outside, make a great run after catch, and number 22 takes it in from 22 yards out.
Here is a return to the far side. He's got good speed. He'll break a tackle and be knocked out of bounds near the 40-yard line. On the return was Antonio McDuffie. We just saw him at cornerback. Now he's going to play some receiver.
And that's when where you're Arkadelphia, you have to be careful, because we remember last week the Waldron Bulldogs, the one score that they got in the first half that was on a kick return. The Badgers have had trouble with that at times. However, this is a team that traditionally has been excellent in special teams. You've got some younger guys out there that have been getting some experience in that regard, and they're getting stronger with each test that they have.
Ashdown Panthers line up. Running formation, a fullback, a tailback, a halfback behind the right tackle, and a tight end, and they're going to run power drive and now drop the ball. Arkadelphia has it. There's a return to the 20, to the 15, the 10. This is a touchdown, Arkadelphia, on a fumble return.
That's Nykeeson Wimberly with the score for the Badgers. The junior that started out his varsity career in the playoffs with Arkadelphia. This time, he's got the scoop and score, and for the second consecutive week, the Badgers return a fumble for a touchdown in the first quarter.
My goodness, that did not take long. Molinari on for the extra point now. He picked it up and sped to the end zone. Defensive tackle. Wimberly is not a small guy, but he can move.
Without a doubt. Looked very similar to that Katie Young return we saw last week.
Extra point attempt is up, and that line drive shot is right between the uprights, and so Arkadelphia has a 14-0 lead. And we'll keep it here for a moment simply to say, Chase, that was really an excellent job by the defense to pick it up and run, but the fumble happened before the defense got there. It was never a good exchange.
It was a miscommunication there on the exchange, as you mentioned, Jeff, and credit Nykeeson Wimberly. There's a lot of traffic right there near the ball carrier, but he was able to keep his eyes zoned in on the ball. Not only scoops it up, but runs with it and has a great run after the recovery. Takes it all the way to the house, got some good support from his fellow defensive linemen who were there to block. They created plenty of space up to the left side. And before the Panthers even knew what had hit them, they'd already given up 6 points.
Yeah, Ashdown has to wonder, can we not just start this game over? Arkadelphia with a big fourth down conversion and then a big pass play for a touchdown, followed by a fumble return for a touchdown on the first offensive play of the night for Ashdown. Kickoff return coverage, one of the keys of the night. Arkadelphia is going to get some practice here as they'll have their second kickoff in the last few moments. Line drive shot near the sideline, returnable though from the 20-yard line. It's going to be returned to the 24. There's a good hit. He's down at the 25-yard line. On the return for Ashdown was Tremel Williams.
And that was more in tune to what we've seen from the Badgers in terms of the special teams department for the last few years. Excellent job there of flying to the ball carrier Williams. And before he really had a chance to get going, open field tackle stops him right in his tracks. So the Panthers have a little more ground to cover on this drive if they want to score 6. For the Badgers, you've got more field to defend behind you.
Carson Horn has checked in, and Williams has checked out after that kick return. They changed the formation a little bit, but it's a running formation, and they will pitch it and try to go wide here against Arkadelphia. That's a tough thing to do, though, and he's not going to make it back to the line of scrimmage. On the carry was Antonio McDuffie.
Excellent job there by the Arkadelphia defensive line, reading the blocks and able to get around the offensive lineman to take down the ball carrier in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 1.
So they'll say this drive started at the 25. He lost 1 to the 24 on 2nd and 11. 2 running plays so far, loss of 1 and a fumble, returned for a touchdown by the Badgers. So a tough start so far. Back to pass, under pressure, and sacked. Back for a loss to the 20-yard line, and we do see a flag down as well. The quarterback, Grayson Porter, is a good one, but he didn't have a chance to throw it that time. Going to be a holding call. Just add insult to injury. They're going to decline it, I think, and take the sack. They do decline it. So the ball spotted at the 20-yard line, I believe. They haven't put the ball down yet. They got them. Well, they put it it's at the 24. They declined it, so that should be a sack, guys. The ball should be at the 20. They didn't count any loss at all. Instead, the ball's back at the 24-yard line. It's 3rd down and 11. Back to pass. He'll look downfield and throw. An interception at the 28 to the 25-yard line. Well, that loss of direction on where the ball should be spotted mattered not at all because the interception was made and Arkadelphia has the ball right back.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's Nykeeson Wimberly again. Nykeeson Wimberly, 2 turnovers to his credit already. He had the scoop and score earlier, and now give the big man an INT.
Wow. Wimberly, junior, outstanding lineman, back in pass coverage that time with the interception. And Arkadelphia is set for an opportunity to take a 3-touchdown lead. Badgers leading 14-0. We're in the first quarter, 7:26 left. And Arkadelphia has a conversation on the sideline with head coach Trey Shucker. Now they're going to line up. Running back in the formation this time. Atkins, short side of the field, bottom of your screen. They're going to fake a handoff. McBride keeps it. He's got some room. At the 20, he'll make it to the 10. He'll make it inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Good run by the quarterback. He does not mind contact.
Not at all, and that's a carryover from his time as a linebacker, just lowering his head there and plunging forward for as many yards as he could get. That's more than enough for the Welch Funeral Home first down.
First down goal, Arkadelphia, ball at the 8-yard line, or between the 8 and 9-yard line. McBride calling out the snap count. Wants to pitch it wide. He will do so. Hitting the backfield, though, is Reed. He'll escape 2 tacklers, but fall down near the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a half-yard.
And the first man to get to him there was Hayden Ziegler.
They're going to spot it right at the 9-yard line. So second down and goal from the 9. No gain on the play. Arkadelphia back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers top of your screen to the right side, wide side of the field. In motion comes now Nick Williams, also to that same side. They want to throw to the short side. Nobody open there. McBride wants to run. He's going to have a little bit of room. He'll make it up to the 5-yard line and be tackled there, but that's a gain of 4.
And that's really where we've seen the composure develop for Caden McBride throughout the season. He doesn't get panicked here by the pressure that he's facing. Instead, he stays within himself, makes his read, sees nothing is there, decides to run out to the outside and gets a few yards.
All right, Arkadelphia's got basically 2 plays to make 5 yards here. Certainly Molinari can kick a field goal from this range, but if they can get a few yards on 3rd down, I think they'd go for it on 4th. Right now they're going to try to score on 3rd with a pass play. Into the end zone, going high is Bailey. He's got it. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Evan Bailey goes up and gets the football using his length to his advantage. The defender, no match for the senior, and he's got a senior night memory that will last for a lifetime. Big time touchdown catch there for Bailey.
Senior to senior, McBride to Bailey. Just a beautiful pass. Bailey was the only one that could get high enough to catch it, and he did exactly that at the high point. Kick is up and good by Molinari. It's 21-0. Arkadelphia leading, 5:41 left, and we are still in the first quarter. So we're going to take a break for a commercial here, but don't go far because we have to see what happens when Wimberly goes back onto the field here in a moment. He's already got a fumble and an interception, so let's see what happens when we come back with more action after this. You're in tune to Arkadelphia Badgers football.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
We are at Badger Stadium where Arkadelphia is off to a great start tonight. 5:41 left, first quarter. Arkadelphia leads at 21-0. An offensive touchdown, a defensive touchdown, a turnover, and another offensive touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Nykeeson Wimberly is living every defensive lineman's dream tonight. He got the scoop and score to start out the night, the second touchdown of the night already for the Badgers, and then he fulfills another dream of just about every defensive lineman getting the interception by rolling over in coverage.
And it was not a tipped pass. I mean, he was covering a receiver and
was.
made the play. Quite an athlete. Here's the kickoff. Line drive shot, returnable once again. from the 19-yard line up to the 25, but Arkadelphia covers it well. Stopped at the 30-yard line on the return for Ashdown was Tremel Williams. Looks like a timeout has been called on the field as Ashdown would like to kind of regroup and talk about it. So I think we'll take a break also. But what a start by Arkadelphia. We'll talk more about it when we come back. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says, "Go Badgers."
5 minutes. Now the clock says 35 seconds left at that kickoff. 30-yard line for Ashdown. Their offense comes back out onto the field. The Badgers lead at 21-0, having taken care of 2 turnovers and made them into touchdowns, and their opening drive tonight was a touchdown for the Badgers also. Grayson Porter is the quarterback. We haven't had time to talk about him very much because Ashdown hasn't had the ball for very long, but he is a senior and a good quarterback. And he'll take the snap under center. You don't see that much anymore, taking it under center, but that's what he does. He'll hand off right up the middle, and there's a little bit of yardage on first down, up the middle for about 4 yards, maybe 5.
One of the stronger offensive plays of the night thus far for Ashdown. The Panthers really still trying to settle into this ball game after an early turnover. Follow that up by finding yourself backed up against the wall, 3rd and long. Nikeeson Wimberly forces his second turnover of the half.
Hayden Ziegler got 5 yards right up the middle, so they might just try that a few more times. 2 receivers in the formation, plus a tight end, running back behind the right tackle. And the one running back is Ziegler. Now they'll throw it to the flat, try to get some yardage on a pass, and there's a fumble, and Arkadelphia is fighting for the ball again. Let's see who's got it. On the far side, ball was rolling around a bit, and I think Ashdown did come up with it. But they dropped the ball again. That was a catch and a fumble, but it'll roll back just about to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down coming. They're going to need about 5 when they spot it at the 35. 3rd and 5. It's a slippery football tonight for Ashdown.
And Arkadelphia has been ready to pounce there. Lucky break for the Panthers coming up with that football because there were a couple Badgers in the vicinity, but a heads-up play by the wideout to fall right back on the football.
3rd down, Arkadelphia is showing they want to put pressure on the quarterback, who this time is in the shotgun formation. Back to pass, he'll fire across the middle and miss his target, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to one of his tall targets, and that is Caleb Blankenship. He goes at 6'1", but he missed him, so it's 4th down.
The Badgers were blitzing both edges that time. Coming up with one of the hurries, that was Whit Alderson. He was untouched, basically getting to the quarterback, and that forced an errant pass. Now the Panthers going to have to punt the ball away early in this one. Set to punt the ball away. It's going to be Ziegler.
Yeah, the good running back is also the punter, so you always have to watch for a fake. Arkadelphia is ready for that. They put a little pressure on the kicker, and he'll hit it off the side of his foot. It will take a bit of a bounce that helps Ashdown, but still a short kick. Arkadelphia have good field position at its own 45-yard line. So we'll keep it here during this break, and I'll tell you what, Arkadelphia, 3 for 3. They've had the ball 3 times. Of course, one of those was just a defensive play on a fumble return. The other 2, offensive possessions that resulted in touchdowns. And Arkadelphia, with a short drive of only 24 yards after the turnover on its last possession. And then they had a 53-yard drive for a touchdown on their first possession of the game. The offense has played well. The defense has been superb, and Arkadelphia has a 21-0 lead. Still 3:56 left in the first quarter. Running play right at the Panthers, and this is a good run by Buckley. He'll break 2 tackles, break a third, and make a first down.
Welch Funeral Home first down there for D'Angelo Buckley. Last week he only got 4 touches, but 3 of them went for touchdowns. And that's the reason why he is so elusive when he gets into space. Got some good blocks up front.
First down and 10, running play right up the middle again. This time they're going to trip him up and knock him down at the 40. Gain of 2.
That's the thing that's so dangerous about Arkadelphia is that you can set up the run, but then that also opens up opportunities in the passing game. We'll see if the Badgers choose to go that route here or if they continue to try to establish that run game with Buckley.
On 2nd and 8, they'll throw it into the flat. There's a good pass to Buckley. He turns it upfield. He's got a lot of room. To the 35, to the 25. Inside the 20-yard line, he'll go down at the 18-yard line.
That's a gain of over 20 yards for the senior, and it'll be another Welch Funeral Home first down. D'Angelo Buckley, we talk about his running ability, but he's also one of the best the best pass catchers on this team as well.
And there is an injured Panther on the play, so we will take a break this time. Arkadelphia comes to the sideline to talk about it. First down when we come back, Arkadelphia at the 19-yard line of Ashdown. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
Injured on the play for Ashdown was the young man who's returned a couple of kickoffs tonight, Tremel Williams. He did get some help getting off the field, but walked off the field with a little bit of help, and we hope that he will be perfectly fine. Here is a reverse play, but Ashdown is right on top of it, and they'll throw down Arkadelphia's, I think that's Jay. Is that Jay Purifoy? I believe so. So he is going to lose yardage on the play. Just a huge defensive play by the defensive end. And so it will be Arkadelphia lining up with 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Ball at the 24-yard line. Back to pass McBride. He's got time to throw. He throws deep down the field, knocked down and incomplete. Good defensive play by Nash Brown. He was able to get to the ball and knock it down, but he was actually beaten on the play.
You could see that McBride was trying to go up and over that time, but it ended up coming up as a straight line drive to Jay Purifoy. That allowed Ty Marks to step in and bat it down. So instead of what would have been 6 points for the Badgers, now they face a 3rd and long situation.
3rd down, 15 yards to go. Ball at the Ashdown 24-yard line. Arkadelphia set to probably throw another pass right here. Throwing it down the middle. Ooh, incomplete. In and out of the hands of Atkins, who had to reach for it but could not pull it in at the 10-yard line. 4th down coming. Good job by McBride to find an open receiver just a little bit high. Atkins got both hands on it, just couldn't quite pull it in. So they'll try again on 4th down.
Both of those last 2 passes had good qualities. You're just trying to find that happy medium to find your man open in space.
McBride looks to the sideline. Ashdown playing a strong pass defense here. They got 4 people ready to rush. Everybody else is back for pass protection. Or defense, I should say. Open in the end zone is Atkins. He's got it this time. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. All those guys in the defensive secondary, and Atkins found a hole and got a touchdown.
Maddox Atkins with immediate redemption there. That last pass was a bit too high for him, but Cade McBride sent that one right to his liking. Jeff, that's another senior-to-senior connection on this senior night at Badger Stadium. Arkadelphia rolling right now.
24-yard touchdown pass. The Badgers will line up for an extra point. That is a beautiful kick right down central, and it is Arkadelphia 28, Ashdown 0, and we are at 2:07 left in the very first quarter of this football game. We'll be back with more. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of bats and signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia, call Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
7 plays, 55 yards, a touchdown for Arkadelphia. The Badgers have not failed to score on any offensive possession, and the defense has scored tonight, so it's 28-0. Arkadelphia, still 2:07 left in the opening quarter. Here's a line drive kickoff. That'll be allowed to bounce, and it will scoot out of bounds. And so, good field position coming. Best of the night so far for Ashdown.
A rare misfire there for Seth Molinari, and Jeff, he had an excellent game last week, going 8 for 8 on his PATs, and he had to do 9 kickoffs in total. So I'm sure he was sore after that game. He's gotten a lot of work here tonight, though, too.
4 for 4 already. What a great job he has done. You just got to have consistency at that position, and he is Mr. Consistent. All right, Ashdown's going to try to recover here and put something together. The quarterback is Grayson Porter. He's going to line up under center again. 2 receivers top of your screen, 1 to the bottom of the screen, but he's under center, not in the shotgun. And he wants to pass. He'll throw to the flat. There is a missed tackle, another good run by Ziegler, and he's out close to the 40-yard line. He's a quality player, big guy, hard to bring down.
That was a quality play there for the Panthers, although it only goes for 5 yards. The Badgers read it fairly well. It was just a great reaction on the part of Ashdown. Ziegler was able not only to catch it in space, catch it in traffic, but then he also gets some good blocks that allows for a little bit of a run after the catch to make this a second and very manageable.
Ziegler is going to check out of the football game, and in his place is McDuffie at running back. Smaller back, quick back. And somebody missed a call. He's going to get close to a first down anyway. Good keeper by the quarterback, but it looked like he wanted to hand off and nobody was there. He still made a good run after that error, and they're just a few inches from a first down.
And, Jeff, I'm not sure if that was an error. I think that may have been by design, as he had a split-second reaction there, almost acted like he was going to the side, but then quickly turned it back in and saw nobody was there in the open hole up the middle. May have been a little bit of an option play.
Could have been if it was a fake, but there was no fullback there to fake the handoff to, so he just followed his center and made some good yardage. If it was not a called play, he made a quick decision that worked out for Ashdown. On 3rd down and less than a yard, they are going to fake a handoff and now run, and gosh, it just depends on the forward progress. He didn't get much past the 45, but he might have made it. Let's just see where they spot the ball. I think they're going to say he did not get there. Well, that might be close enough to measure. He doesn't have to make it quite all the way to the 45, but I don't see a movement to measure. At least on the far side, it doesn't look like he quite has to make it to the 45, but he should have to make it to the 45 because they spotted it at the 35 after the kickoff went out of bounds. So it is 4th down. He got no yardage on 3rd down. The chains now, I think they stretched him out a little bit more, and they got the change right now. So into the first quarter, and it is an Arkadelphia 28-0 lead, as we'll go to the second quarter and have a 4th down play for Ashdown coming up when we come back. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to sponsor this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our Arkadelphia locations, located at each I-30 exit, or our new Tiger Mart store, located on 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, "Go Badgers."
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Second quarter action coming away here at Badger Stadium in Arkadelphia. And the Badgers need to defend about 1.5 feet here. Ashdown has 4th down at their own 44.5-yard line. They've got to make the 45 for a first down. Now, you could punt the ball away, but Arkadelphia scored on all of its offensive possessions, and Ashdown's already trailing by 4 touchdowns. So I would expect them to go for it. When they have made yardage, Chase, it's been mostly right up the middle.
It has been, and that's due to that strong offensive line. We talked about it, Jeff. They have a lot of players that play both ways in the trenches, and they're talented in both facets of the game. However, Arkadelphia also has one of the more formidable defensive lines in the conference. It's one of those situations where the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and we'll see who proves victorious.
Yeah, Katie Young kind of clapping his hands down there. He's ready to stop somebody from getting any yardage. We'll see what Ashdown would like to do. They are going to go for it, no doubt about that. They've got Ziegler in the backfield. He is the only running back. Everybody else looks like a blocking back, or maybe if they fake the run, they'll throw the ball. But on 4th down and a half yard, it might be a quarterback sneak. Under center, they're going to throw it and throw it out to the flat, and he will make the first down by about a yard, maybe two. He had to run for it after the catch. That was not open for the big play they were hoping for, but they did get the first down.
Well, that's certainly a tendency breaker, because on 4th and less than a yard, you're looking right at the run up the middle. We're expecting the QB sneak, maybe a handoff into the backfield, but able to throw it out into the flats for time marks. He gets enough on the run after catch to pick up the first down. That's just one of those plays where you got to tip your cap to the Panthers from Southwest Arkansas.
So Porter completes the pass. They get the first down, and now Ashdown is going to line up from its own 47-yard line. They'll change the formation, and a timeout has been called. Somebody was confused about the formation, and Ashdown has called its second timeout of the half. 11:15 left. We're in the second quarter. Arkadelphia leads it 28-0, and on defense right now, Ashdown will have a first down when we come back. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Ashdown lines up first down and 10 for the Panthers at their own 47-yard line. Badgers have played great defense all night, have a shutout going. We are just into the second quarter. Arkadelphia leads at 28-0. Ashdown will send a man in motion and whistles and a flag, and that's going to be a false start on Ashdown. So they got a first down and immediately have a penalty to back them up by 5. Ashdown has not crossed the 50-yard line tonight. And now they're back at their own 42-yard line, 1st and 15.
We do want to give a special shout out, thank you to Trinity Temple Assembly of God for providing the team meal today.
Always a key, such support from Arkadelphia. 1st and 15. Ashdown lines up, back to pass. Porter wants to throw it deep, and he will throw it deep, but a receiver back there is a Badger. That's an interception. Falling down as he makes the catch. Deep for Arkadelphia is, I believe, Brownlee back there at the 22-yard line.
Boy, you're right, Jeff. It looked like Michael Brownlee was running the route that time. He had his eyes on the ball from the get-go, read it step for step, and comes down with the ball in stride. It was a deep target. Quarterback overthrew his man, but it fell right into the arms of Brownlee. Excellent read. Even better job there to secure the ball. That's the 3rd turnover that the Badgers have forced tonight. Make it the 2nd interception.
Porter showed a good arm, but the deep receiver with the best speed was the defensive back, and Brownlee, tremendous athlete himself, makes a big diving catch back there. They'll mark it at the 23. First down, Arkadelphia. Badgers have taken advantage now of 2 interceptions and a fumble by Ashdown. On first down, high snap, but they'll run the ball. A little bit of room. Oh, here's a nice break. To the 30, to the 35, to the 40. He might go all the way. This is Reed to the 30, to the 25. He's hit. He stays up all the way to the 11-yard line. Beautiful run by Kyle Reed.
And some great blocks there along the way, too. Stepping up to make a block that likely extended that play by about 40 yards. That was Grant Rollins.
Ball at the 11-yard line. 11-yard line. Reed checking in for Buckley, made a nice cut right at the line of scrimmage, and then sped into the secondary. And if not for a defensive back with an angle, he would have scored a touchdown. From the 11-yard line, Arkadelphia has first down and 10. Reed with the ball again up the middle. He's to the 5-yard line. Good running by Reed.
This offensive line, they started out the year, a lot of them younger guys who hadn't gotten much varsity experience up to this point. But, Jeff, right now, this looks like a seasoned offensive line. They're doing a great job of creating space up the middle, not only for Cade McBride, but for D'Angelo Buckley and Kyle Reed right there. Had some great space to work with.
They'll spot it just short of the 5, so we'll say a gain of 5. And on 2nd and 5, I believe that was offsides on Ashdown, but we'll see if a flag went down. McBride's going to carry defenders inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. My gosh, McBride with a lot of strength. No flag down. I thought a defensive end had moved a little too far, but instead, from the 2-yard line, it is 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and 1 from the 2-yard line. I formation for the Badgers. We don't see that often, but it results in a touchdown. Touchdown, Arkadelphia Badgers.
That is K.D. Young, who typically plays defensive line, but he does serve as a halfback in isolation plays like that, and what a senior memory for him. Getting a chance to run it right up the gut. Nobody wanted a piece of him, and he's in for 6 points.
You know, he had a big hole to run through, but I didn't see anybody running toward the hole because you're right. Once he's at the 1-yard line, you're not going to knock him backwards. Kick is up and good again. It's Arkadelphia 35 and Ashdown 0. 9:15 left. We are still in the second quarter. What a football game by the Arkadelphia Badgers. Offense, defense, special teams, everything is hitting its mark tonight. And the Badgers have a 35-0 lead here, still with more than half of the second quarter left to play. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Contact Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance on Pine Street in Arkadelphia to see how they can help you with your insurance needs. Pennington Insurance has been locally owned and operated in Arkadelphia for 85 years. Jake is a proud Badger alum playing football and baseball at Arkadelphia. Call us today at 870-246-3700 or come see us at 2401 Pine Street to talk about your insurance needs. That's Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance.
Arkadelphia 35, Ashdown 0, 9:15 left. We are in the second quarter tonight. That was a 3-play, 77-yard drive keyed by a 66-yard run by Kyle Reed, one of the prettiest runs we've seen all year.
Without a doubt, the blocking on that one was an excellent play. Speaking of blocking, how about the hole that was created up the middle for K.D. Young as he records a rushing touchdown in isolation?
Here's a kickoff. Molinari's kick is going to be returned from the 19-yard line. He's looking for space. He'll cut back to his right and slip down near the 30-yard line. So Arkadelphia will send its defense back out on the field. Wimberly kind of dancing as he makes it back out on the field to play some defense. He's having some fun tonight.
He is. Already has a scoop and score to his credit. And he's also got an interception to his name as well. One of 2 interceptions forced by the Badgers tonight. The other belonging to Michael Brownlee on that last drive.
Ball at the 30-yard line. He had an 11-yard kickoff return that time. And Arkadelphia lines up defensively. First down, 10 yards to go for Ashdown. Under center is Grayson Porter. He'll send a man in motion. He'll pitch it to him. They'll try to run wide. Now cutting it up the middle. That's going to be a gain. Vandelborg is going to bring him down along with some other Badgers who help out. And they're going to spot the ball. They drove him all the way back to the 29, but I think they're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line. Gain of 5. The Panthers have had only a couple of first downs tonight. I should say one. Just on the last possession, they had 1 first down. They've had a couple of 5-yard runs, but they've not resulted in a line of first downs for the Panthers.
Jeff, after this play, we have to talk about someone that just walked in our box for a second.
Oh, I think we do, don't we? We're gonna let people wonder for a moment. Here is Porter. He's running to his right for a gain of a couple of yards. And it's going to be 3rd down coming. 3rd down 3 coming.
Yeah, I'll just take this off and talk to him. He can't stay. I asked him if he could stay for halftime, and he said he couldn't. I'm going to get him on the mic regardless. He's not shy, but former Badger quarterback Jakari Howell, teammate, classmate, friend with Chris Oliver, who's on the other sideline tonight. You both came down to escort your siblings, your younger siblings on senior night. That had to be a neat time.
It was neat. It was also kind of weird realizing how old we are. It's been almost 10 years since we've been out there, and thinking about we were playing our senior night and they were out here running around in the stands. To be escorting them tonight was definitely a blessing. It was definitely neat to get out there and do that.
We've got a 5-yard penalty against Ashdown. They made a mistake here on 3rd down and 2. It's going to be 3rd and 7 in a moment. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to go down and give Chris Oliver some advice?
I'm going to call him after the game and give him a pretty hard time about this. I mean, he told me before the game that Arkadelphia would have a decent advantage tonight, but it's a little bit more than what I was expecting. But good on Arkadelphia's end for sure. It's good to see them rolling.
Offense, defense, special teams, everything's working.
3 turnovers and 30-something points and a half. That's impressive for sure.
3rd down, 7 yards to go for Ashdown, and they want to throw the ball. Porter is back to pass under pressure. He throws, and it's incomplete. That was well defended. They'll knock the receiver down as the ball gets there. 4th down and 7 coming.
Chris's little brother, KD, who you mentioned, I have a picture of my son Carter, who graduated last year, and KD slapping hands, giving high five after a certain game in Nashville in 2012 where the Badgers came from behind, a big win, and now these guys are finishing up their high school careers. That makes me feel old, and after this play, you can kind of tell how old it makes you feel too, as you can think back through those days.
It definitely makes us feel old. I mean, I think it was also good for guys like Carter and Katie to see that game. That was a crazy game, and I felt like a turning point in Arkadelphia's program. I think winning has been pretty much tradition ever since that game. So,
yeah, I think you're right. That was a real turning point. Let me ask you this. Now, KD Young, scored a touchdown moments ago.
He might have better vision than his older brother.
Did you ever hand off to a defensive tackle?
I got to hand off to Emmanuel Cooper. Very impressive defensive tackle. So, yes, I did get to do that a few times, and I got to watch him run over people all the way down the field.
I think I remember at Malvern, KO had about an 80-yard run where he just kind of baited somebody on the visitor sideline and cut backfield, and it may have been the same game that Emmanuel had about a 70-yard run. You were coming out of the end zone, and Emmanuel took a big handoff there at Malvern. Jakari, talk about some of the memories. I talked to Coach Eldridge actually today. Make you feel old. His middle son is in junior high now, and they had a big win. But talk about some of the memories that you guys saw. Khalil Hart here tonight. A lot of these guys come back. It's a special night, but talk about the memories and the relationships that you still have from your time as a Badger.
It's crazy. Like you said, we all play for Coach Eldridge, and I'm living up there in that same area now. He even calls to babysit my kids from time to time, so that relationship definitely was beyond football. And a lot of guys in our senior class, we've been playing ball together since we were 3 or 4 years old. We all always play football, basketball, baseball, all 3 sports. And, I could pick up the phone right now and call any of those guys and talk to them for hours just about all our memories as an Arkadelphia Badger. It meant something to put that Badger uniform on, and we grew up watching a not so successful program and wanting to change that, and we actually were able to do that. Didn't never get the goal that we wanted to, but I feel like we set some of the standard for those guys to go and get that, and just to see this program still excelling. 10 years later is just amazing.
Yeah, I really believe that, Jakari. You're an architect of what we're seeing tonight.
Yes, sir.
I know that you have maintained contact with a lot of these. A lot of these guys are family members and friends, but you've maintained contact now. Well, the Badgers are back on offense, so we'll let Jeff call the play. But it's good that you guys have been able to maintain contact, and you keep up with the program from afar as we have a holding penalty getting ready to be called on Arkadelphia.
Good run by Purifoy, but he was knocked down.
Every Friday night we're tuned into the live stream. Me and my girlfriend and our kids at the house. We got I'm watching Coach E on my phone and got the Arkadelphia Badger game put up on my PlayStation. So we're definitely keeping up with it. I was glad to be able to get back and get to this game, hoping to be able to make that game in 2 weeks against Malvern. That'll be a big one.
It will be a big one, won't it? Arkadelphia came in with that showdown last year and dominated the game, and then Malvern won the state championship. What a story it was, and interesting story is unfolding this year too. Penalty against Arkadelphia, so they're going to spot it back after the holding call. First down, 20 yards to go for the Badgers. Once again, the Badgers have not failed to score with its offense on every possession. Pass play downfield. Ooh, this one's intercepted at the 39-yard line. Receiver not looking for the ball, or some miscommunication there. And so Ashdown has a turnover and has good field position at the Arkadelphia 34-yard line.
Yeah, the receiver almost ran a curl route, a stop route. And it looked like McBride expected the receiver to cut inside. Just a little miscommunication there. First miscue of the game for Arkadelphia. Again, Jakari Howell, thanks for joining us, stepping in the booth. I asked him, Jeff, if he could stick around at halftime, but he's got to get back up to Northwest Arkansas because he has a Pee Wee football game to coach tomorrow. Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Coach L just reached out to me about a couple months ago and asked if I'd like to coach a fifth grade Pee Wee football team. I mean, it's hard to tell that guy no, especially for all he's done for me. So,
are you loving it?
I'm loving it. We're not very good right now, but I'm loving it. It's fun for the kids, and we're going to look to get our first victory tomorrow morning to end the season. So,
well, maybe the Badgers have given you some inspiration. Jakari, thanks for stopping in. It's great to see you. And, we have a flag after the play. Yeah, we're glad you watch it. Jakari, good to see you, bud. All right.
Grayson Porter sacked on the play. A flag went down as well. Badgers are doing well defensively, putting pressure on the quarterback. This is a running offense. He went back to pass with this big 5-touchdown lead for Arkadelphia and was sacked. And then a personal foul was called against Arkadelphia, which I believe came after the play. So I think they're going to mark off that 15 yards from the spot of the sack. So it's going to take the ball just down to the Arkadelphia 22-yard line. A turnover and now a major penalty has helped out Ashdown as they are now putting themselves into Arkadelphia, deeper into Arkadelphia territory for the first time tonight. Ball at the 27-yard line, first down and 10. I'm sorry, second down because they didn't have enough yardage to make a first down on the penalty. Pass incomplete, so third down coming now. And it is third down and between 3 and 4 yards they're going to need for a first down. Let's call that a long 3. Third down and 3 coming. Not an automatic first down on that penalty, so they marked it off from the spot of the sack, and that 15 yards did not get them a first down. So it was second and 3. The incompletion makes it third down and 3. Ball at the 27-yard line of Arkadelphia. Deepest penetration into Arkadelphia territory tonight for Ashdown. Porter wants to hand it off. He'll get it to Marks, and Marks is hit. Fourth down is coming. He's not going to make very much at all, maybe a yard.
That's been the idea for Ashdown on these last couple drives, having some trouble establishing the run up the middle, so trying to get some space to the outside. But that's the thing about Arkadelphia. They've got a great run contain as well, aided by a great linebacking core. And if that fails, you've got the secondary right there to back them up as well.
Fourth down, 3 yards to go for Ashdown. The running back is Ziegler, big back. He's been their best running back tonight. Quarterback under center is Porter. He's got a man in motion, but he's going to give it to Ziegler. Ziegler slips by one tackler, will make a first down just inside the 25-yard line. First down and 10 for the Panthers.
Just a little bit of a counterplay there to the right side. And Ziegler does just enough to pick up that first down. Got some good blocks to the right side. Arkadelphia knew it was coming. They did their best to stop it, but that time the offensive line of Ashdown winning the battle.
This is a key drive for Ashdown with less than 5 minutes left now in the quarter, because if this score holds, it'll be the good sportsmanship rule beginning in the third quarter. If they can score here, they might prevent that. Although Arkadelphia should have a little bit of time left. Here's Ziegler up the middle. He's hit immediately. Big back. He'll try to fall forward, but he cannot. He's going to be able to scoot. Oh, this is a long time before they'll blow the whistle. Finally, they blow it after he's able to be pushed up near the 20-yard line for a gain of 4. Sometimes concerns me when they let the play go that long, but it was good for Ashdown as they got a little bit of push at the end and got the ball up to the 20. Second down, 6 yards to go. Ashdown not in a hurry. They want to use up some clock and get a touchdown on this drive. No running back in the formation. He's under center, but there is not a running back behind him. And now Marks runs off the field. And now they're going to run and make a yard or two, but Arkadelphia really hitting hard. Gain of only 1 or 2 on the play. A lot of confusion.
Well, it looked like one Badger had already started to wrap up the ball carrier, but then Q Morris jumps in at the last second, too, to make sure that his forward progress is stopped. That was an excellent read by Morris, able to go from his position over the middle of the field, come around the edge, and get the stop in the open field.
3rd down and a long 4 left to go. I think they ran that last play with 10 players, but the running play got a couple of yards anyway. Here is Marks. He's running hard, but I don't think he's going to make a first down. We're going to have another 4th down coming. Good gain, so he's close, but he didn't get there. 4th down in either 1 or 2. We'll see where the spot is. Going to spot it right at the 15-yard line, so they're going to lack 1 yard. 4th down and 1 for Ashdown.
This has been a long physical drive between these two teams, and you have to think that both sides are getting tired. But for those Ashdown Panthers, you know that they want to capitalize on this opportunity. First time in the red zone tonight, and you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get that close.
4th down, 1 yard to go. Porter at quarterback will hand off, and to the right side they'll go. There's a spin. He's trying to gain yardage around the end and won't get there. He gave up some yardage chase to try to get around a Badger, and it cost him. Arkadelphia gets the ball back on downs.
That was a costly choice there, as instead of trying just to plunge forward as much as he could to get close to that first down marker, he takes a step back, and that momentary hesitation allowed the Badgers to close in, ended up losing quite a bit of yardage.
Well, they also took some time off the clock and didn't get the touchdown to knock it down below the 35-point lead for Arkadelphia, so that worked to the Badgers' advantage. A good defensive stand, and now the offense is back out on the field with a 5-touchdown lead and 2:20 left in the first half. 4 receivers, all of them to the right side of the line of scrimmage. They're going to throw to the right. They get the ball out there to Purifoy. He'll make it to the 25-30. Good speed to the 35-yard line. First down and 10.
Jay Purifoy, we know him better for his speed in the open field, but that time showing off his toughness, able to shake off a defender before going out of bounds.
Arkadelphia moves quickly to the 37-yard line is where they're going to mark that. First down and 10. Reverse play, hit in the backfield, but he'll escape that tackle. A little bit more yardage to the 40. Purifoy up to the 44-yard line, and that's a nice pickup of 6.
Landry Patrick read that play very well and almost got to Jay Purifoy in the backfield. However, Purifoy again showing off the strength, able to resist the pressure and take it forward for a good gain.
He's got such good speed and a very elusive runner. Back to pass McBride. He's under pressure, rolls to his left. Now he wants to run. He's going to break 1 tackle, break 2 tackles to the 40-yard line, to the 35, 34-yard line, first down and 10. Another good run by Cade McBride.
And that run right there showed you many of the reasons why Cade McBride is so dangerous as a ball carrier. We do have a player down on the field, but going back to that run, it's the field vision along with the strength, as well as the improvisation ability, able to make the spin move, continue the play along. Had a stiff arm in there as well. He does such a great job at extending plays, as it looks like the injured Panther is going to be okay. He is getting off the field under his own power, getting a little assistance from a coach there.
That's Hayden Ziegler, the fine running back, also playing some defense, and he was shaken up but walked off the field under his own power. Might see him again in the second half. What a fine run that was down to the 34-yard line, as you were saying, Chase, and now McBride wants to throw the ball. He looks deep. He's under pressure there, and they're going to get to him and sack him for a loss of maybe 3, maybe 2 on the plays. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. Clock will continue to run now. We're under 1 minute, 10 seconds left to play. Badgers would love to score again and be safely into the good sportsmanship rule by the time Ashdown has the ball back. 56 seconds left. Arkadelphia doesn't really have to score here. It'll be in good sportsmanship rule if they just run the next 50 seconds away. But we'll see. They are running their offense with their first team still. Run by Reed right up the middle. He's going to get some good yardage inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Third down coming. Handoff right up the middle that time. Arkadelphia lines up, really not in a hurry. They're going to run a reverse play. Here's Purifoy. Purifoy will get a round one tackler. Stiff arm knocks another one down. He's going to make a first down and be knocked down near the 20-yard line, and a couple of players are slow in getting up, both for Ashdown. Now they're both going to get up and be okay. This Ashdown defense has worked hard and has struggled all night long to keep up with the Badgers.
There is a penalty flag down on the play. We'll see what the call is. It was thrown back near the original line of scrimmage. The flag is currently resting at the 37-yard line as opposed to about the 34.5-yard line. That was the original line of scrimmage on that play. And unfortunately, the Badgers trotting backwards. That means this is likely going to be a holding penalty.
Personal foul looked like against Arkadelphia. That's going to move them back. They might just let this go to halftime now with 15 seconds left. I tell you what was impressive on that play was the stiff arm by Purifoy. I mean, he's not a big player, and he knocked a defender down trying to tackle him.
Well, we've seen the speed from Purifoy since his debut in varsity, but tonight it's really been about his strength, extending the plays, not only showcasing the speed, which he's always had, but also showcasing that strength to be able to extend plays. He's stiff-armed multiple defenders, shook off tacklers, and when you have that very valuable combination of strength and speed, you can be a very tough back to stop, and that is definitely the case for Jay Purifoy.
Ball is spotted back at the 47-yard line of Ashdown. Arkadelphia has 15 seconds left. If they don't score, it's still going to go to the good sportsmanship rule in the third quarter. It's been quite an achievement tonight, an amazing first quarter and a good second quarter by Arkadelphia as well.
And it's been in every phase of the game. Seth Molinari for special teams, perfect 5 for 5 on PATs up to this point. Katie Young, who typically plays on defensive line, he's got a sack, but he's also got a rushing touchdown to his name in this one. Nykeeson Wimberly had a dream first quarter, ended up recording both a scoop and score and an interception. And that's not to mention the Arkadelphia offense, where several seniors have come up with scores.
So that foul against Arkadelphia was a tripping call. And that took it back to the 47. Third down, Arkadelphia lines up. Now, we might not see much first-team offensive players in the second half, but they're going to line up here with 4 receivers on the right side. Back to pass is McBride. He's under pressure. They blitz the linebackers. He is trying to get away and will not. They'll tackle him back at the 41-yard line. And that probably, I don't think there's even a timeout left on the Ashdown side, so that's going to do it. 2-1. We have reached halftime here at Badger Stadium, All Care Field, and look at this. Arkadelphia 35 and Ashdown 0. But before we go to commercial, let's see, because the officials are still on the field and now some of the players are not sure if we're going to have one more play. Let's see what the officials say. They have spotted the ball at the 44-yard line, but I think they're going to pick it up and say it's halftime. Let's see. Ashdown is headed to the locker room. About half the Badgers are. And that is going to be the end of the first half. And so at the end of the first half, it is 35-0 Arkadelphia. And in the second half, we're going to see the good sportsmanship rule in effect. But before we get there, we've got a beautiful halftime show coming your way. So stay tuned for Arkadelphia's outstanding band and the high school. I think we're going to have multiple things for you to enjoy at halftime. I'm going to let Chris Babb bring you up to date on all of that when we go to the halftime show. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Crye-like Pro Elite Realty in Arkadelphia utilizes innovative marketing strategies to attract buyers and sellers. We have built a strong reputation based on integrity, professionalism, and client satisfaction. Schedule a free consultation with one of our experts to discuss your real estate goals and get personalized advice. Crye-like Pro Elite Realty has exclusive listings at the highly anticipated new subdivision, Northridge Estates. Stop by our offices at 203 South 26th Street or call 870-293-1111 for all the latest details.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? you can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Great coaches know that success on the field takes more than just athletic ability. It takes a winning strategy. And at Southern Bancorp, we believe the same applies to banking. Whether you need competitive rates on loans and accounts to keep you in the game, or financial tools like credit counseling and homebuyer education to move the ball down the field, we can help. Visit banksouthern.com today and let's build your winning strategy. Southern Bancorp, wealth builders for everyone. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets.
Cuckoo Crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield in Arkadelphia today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
This is the Southern Bancorp halftime report. Chris Babb with Jim Rothwell. The Arkadelphia Badgers lead the Ashdown Panthers 35-0 after what, Jim, you and Jeff missed it last week, but the start very similar to the start last week when Arkadelphia defeated Waldron. So, Jim, back in the saddle again, as well as Jeff, and you got some of those first half statistics.
Well,
and there were a lot of numbers. Maybe not big offensive numbers because you had short fields, but a lot of numbers regardless.
Well, I'm glad we got to come back. I didn't know, after last week if we'd have to stay away, but it looks like we're okay being
Our
back.
stats were so bad, we said we've got to have Jim.
Well, let's talk. We can talk about either one, the offense or defense first.
Let's start off. Let's start defense first. Scoop and
great
score,
job.
three turnovers.
Yeah.
Great job by the Arkadelphia defense.
They did. Ashdown rushed 15 times for 17 yards. That's a little over 1 yard a carry. I don't know if they've had a run over 5 or 6 yards, really. Right. 2 first downs, and that's it. Passing, 2 out of 7, and, of course, the 2 interceptions. Just a great job defensively, shutting down the running game, putting pressure on the quarterback. He hasn't had much time to throw at all. So, good job defensively. Everybody's played well.
It really has.
And
Arkadelphia leading 35-0. This is the Southern Bancorp halftime show. We'll bring you the competition performance from the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band in a few minutes. And Jim, take us through some of those offensive numbers as well.
McBride is really on track. He had you couldn't ask for a better first half. 9 out of 12, and I know at least one of those was dropped. 117 yards, 2 TDs. He had the 1 interception, but I think there was a mix-up between him and the receiver. He threw it to an open area. If the receiver had been there, it went defensive back was behind it. Good job rushing. He's rushed 6 times for 56 yards and big runs.
Boy, Jim, just some really strong runs as well. I remember the 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1 where he just pushed the pile, and then later in the second quarter, same thing.
Yeah, I think he got about 7 or 8 yards on that one quarterback sneak.
Right.
Just pushing the pile. And then had a good job by Reed, 5 carries for 79 yards. Buckley, 3 for 14. So, again, that good balance, 159 yards rushing, 117 passing. Short field, so you don't have a lot of yardage or anything, but it's the efficiency with what they're doing is great.
Arkadelphia had 13 players record offensive statistics last week, and looking over your shoulder, I see 5 different players have caught a pass, 5 different players have rushed the ball, have run the ball for yards. So they're spreading it around, and that 13 last week was including after the mercy rule started and you started getting some of the 2s. This has been the 1s, and you've still got 10 players who have recorded stats. 5 different players have caught a pass, 5 different players have run the ball.
Great balance. And that, again, the yardage, the number of players, that's what you want to see, because then the defense can't gang up against you. They can't say, oh, we're going to stop this. You don't know what to stop.
Jim, what do you think second half? I mean, Arkadelphia obviously will kick off. There was a penalty at the end of the second quarter that will be enforced on the kickoff, so Arkadelphia will be backed up and have to kick for a little longer. I would imagine that you might get the first-team defense in there for one more series just to try to make another stop, let that clock run, and then probably see the reserves.
That's what I think they would do, just to make sure you don't let something get away from you early in that second half. Probably won't see the first-team offense, particularly if the first-team defense comes through. But you can't ask for a better first half. I mean, they've come out, and I missed last week, but it sounds like last week they are really rolling. It's just amazing to watch the difference between now and those first three games. The consistency offensively, very few breakdowns. They may have a penalty, but they got such great playmakers that a 10-yard penalty, they can make it up just like that.
And Chase mentioned in the first half, really noticing that difference up front in the offensive line. I don't know this off the top of my head, but I have a feeling that now the opponents are obviously different.
Yeah.
But the rushing yardage had to be significantly better. Let's just say assistant coach Brian Gibson, who coaches the offensive line, has to be a lot more pleased with his offensive line play in these last 3 or 4 weeks in the first three.
We noticed that at least 2 weeks ago for sure, because we were able to rush for 200 and something yards, 159 and a half this time. And one of those was a long run, but the rest of them were just consistent 8, 10, 15-yard runs. Great job of that offensive line. They've made such improvement from the first 3 games.
Jim Rothwell, Chris Babb, the Southern Bancorp halftime show, Arkadelphia 35. Ashdown 0, the Panther Pride Marching Band serenading us with Coolio's Gangster's Paradise.
Oh.
I guarantee you that's on Jeff Root's playlist on his Spotify channel.
Yeah, I think we've heard that coming back on a travel trip some night.
Well, Jim, if you would have been with us last week and heard some of the stations we were able to pick up in western Arkansas between Waldron and here, it was quite fantastic. Jim Rothwell, go ahead.
A little diversity, huh?
Oh, it was. We heard some nice AM stations, some nice. Jeff just asked, "What is Spotify?" So yes, it's not on his Spotify. Jim Rothwell, thanks. That's Jim Rothwell with our first half statistics. As the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band now comes onto the field, we'll take our graphics off and we'll shut up after they get going and be able to, so you can hear the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band in their competition routine. The Badger Pride Marching Band qualified for the state marching assessment. That will be Monday, October 30th. At War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, and so the Badger Pride Marching Band will be returning to War Memorial to try to wrap up their 8th consecutive 4A Arkansas State Band and Orchestra Association Marching Championship. 8 consecutive. They're at their regional assessment. That was Monday night. All these days, Tuesday night. Monday or Tuesday night. They all run together. But they got straight 1 superior ratings last weekend at the Lake Hamilton Power Band competition. They finished topped in 4A, and they finished 7th overall out of some bands from much larger classifications. And they are in the Region 2 assessment, all 1s, a state qualifier we mentioned. Tomorrow they are having a fundraiser. Jeff, you might be interested in this. It's a Princess Tea Party here in a couple of years. Mary Kate might be interested in that. And so a good fundraiser for the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. They had a big day this week at Band Day 2023 where they brought the Goza Middle School students from our right, brought them in the stadium and let them perform, the band perform for them. At the Power Band Classic at Lake Hamilton, 4A class champion, high general effect, high music performance, high visual performance, first division band in 4A and percussion and color guard, and they got 7th place in the finals. It is the Queen. Long Live the Queen is the name of their show. And we will turn it over to the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band with their competition show, Long Live the Queen. The band continues to set up, and we will turn it over to Director Brandon Hanlon, Assistants Ryan Wilkerson and Lori Hanlon, and the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 7-time Class 4A State Marching Band champions, the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. Arkadelphia's musical selections include the following, titled Her Majesty, featuring David Maslanka's Give Us the Stay, Billie Eilish, You Should See Me in a Crown, Golden Hour by Jake, and Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor Swift. Featuring soloists Emily Young, Emma Nelson, and Jared Campbell, Arkadelphia Public Schools are proud to present in halftime performance drum major Jancy Thomas and the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band. The Arkadelphia High School Band is under the direction of Brandon Hanlon, with assistance from Ryan Wilkerson, Lori Hamlin, and Orion Sims. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the pride of Arkadelphia, the Badger Pride Marching Band.
Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band as they perform there we go. They perform their competition routine as they will have a couple of more practices this next week, and then they will head to War Memorial Stadium on Monday, October 30th for the 4A State Marching Championships. The teams are making their way back out onto the field at some point, and then we will have the third quarter of action. Your score, Arkadelphia 35, Ashdown 0. Would like to mention that this week's recipient of the Southern Bancorp Student of the Week is Savannah Curry, who, as mentioned by Assistant Principal Trent Smith and Arkadelphia High School Principal Callie Hunley, was voted as the Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizen. So congratulations to Savannah Curry. You are the Southern Bancorp Student of the Week. Proudly sponsored by Southern Bancorp in Arkadelphia. Now it's the Southern Bancorp halftime show on Arkadelphia Badger football games. That'll wrap up the halftime show. The teams are beginning to make their way out to the field, and we'll have the second half of action here in a few minutes. We'll take a break. That'll wrap up the Southern Bancorp halftime show, and we'll be back after this timeout. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger football. Badgers 35, Panthers 0, as we wrap up the halftime show.
Price & Company Insurance is the area's only trusted choice independent insurance agency. What is that, you might ask? An independent insurance agency works for you, the customer, and not the insurance companies. So the next time you're shopping for home, auto, business, life, or health insurance, we invite you to experience an unprecedented level of customer service and expertise. Call or click for a quote today.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Go Badgers!
Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner Rogers Manning and Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
While you may not be a pediatric surgeon volunteering your topiary talents at a children's hospital, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisor gets to know you, your passions, and the way you give back, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
November 3rd, as we
Welcome back to Badger football on Arkadelphia Badger TV. Got some scores from around the state. First, we'll take a look at the games from around the 4A7. Only two other games tonight where 4A7 teams are in action. First off, in Mena, Falk currently leading 13-10 at the halftime break, and down in Nashville, the Scrappers currently leading the Waldron Bulldogs 28-0. Another game to watch. Two of the top teams up in the northern part of the state in 4A. You have Ozark and Elkins facing off. So far, it's been all Elks, 27-0 at the halftime break. Over in the eastern part of the state, Harding Academy leading 42-0 at Riverview at this time. Another big one to watch up in the River Valley right now, low-scoring affair. This is actually a 3A matchup between Boonville and Charleston. Boonville and Charleston meeting each other in a rematch of last year's 3A state championship game. The Tigers, although they've had their ups and downs this year, currently leading the Bearcats 8-6. Well, with those score updates from around the state, we're going to go ahead and bring back Dr. Jeff Root on play-by-play duties. And Jeff, it's been an exciting night of football around the state, but especially right here in Arkadelphia.
It really has been, Chase. And I tell you what, while we have just a moment before kickoff, let's say one more time, as we said in pregame, that our thoughts and prayers go out to the Austin Wingfield family. What a member of this community for decade upon decade upon decade. I traded notes with Roger today, as I'm sure about half of Arkadelphia has. So we lost a great one in Austin Wingfield, but what a great life he lived, and we want to remember him tonight. We want to remember his family in our thoughts and our prayers as we move through 2023 on to 2024, but a lot of 2023 football left as Arkadelphia is going to line up to kick off to Ashdown. They did mark off the penalty against Arkadelphia on the last play of the first half, so the Badgers will kick off from the 25-yard line. That was an unsportsmanlike call, and it puts the ball back to the 25, and yet we remind you we are in the good sportsmanship rule here for the second half because Arkadelphia does lead in this game 35-0. Here's the kickoff, line drive shot, returnable from the 35-yard line, coming to the center of the field, making it to the 40, but not to the 45, is the return man for Ashdown. On the kick return was Braden Walton. He is 6'3", 180 pounds, and a really fine track athlete, but was unable to get a long return on that kickoff return. Arkadelphia had one lapse on a kickoff return early in the ball game, but Chase, they've been very good since then.
And that really felt like a wake-up call for the Badgers. That's happened at times this season to where early in the matchup they have a few struggles on special teams, but tonight the Badgers locking it down quickly after that one long return. And the defense doing its part as well, making sure that the Panthers make little progress forward.
On first down, back to throw the ball is Porter, nowhere to throw it. Now he'll pitch it just as he gets to the line of scrimmage, and there's a gain on the play. Turned into a good play. Big hit at the end of the play, and let's see if a flag went down at the line of scrimmage. He might have been past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. Let's see if that is indeed the call. At first he wanted to throw it, then he was going to run, and then he pitched it forward, but I think he just went a little too far before he let go of the football. And so it's going to go against Ashdown, penalty on their first play from scrimmage, and they'll mark it back to the 38-yard line.
And that one hurts in more ways than one, because not only do you lose the 5 yards, you also lose the down on the play.
So it's second down, 15 yards from the 38-yard line. Good idea, but he was just a little late in coming up with that idea, and I think he had a lineman who was venturing downfield as well, as it looked like he was going to run. One back in the backfield, dropping back to throw it. He'll throw it to Ziegler. Ziegler in the flat will make the yardage back they lost on the penalty and maybe one more yard. He was injured late in the second quarter, so it's good to see him healthy and back in the football game.
Without a doubt, because he is such an important part of this Ashdown Panthers squad. Not only on the offensive side of the ball, Jeff, but as you mentioned, on the defensive side of the ball, he's been making some big tackles as well. That's actually, when he went out of the ball game, a bit of a collision near the line of scrimmage. Was able to get up under his own power, though, and it seems like the halftime break was enough for him to recoup and get right back into this ball game.
Third down, 9 yards to go for Ashdown. They're going to line up under center again. Ziegler will block for his quarterback. He'll throw to the flat. That's a good throw and a good catch. It just is very close, though. That might not be a first down. Let's see where they spot it. They've got to make it to the Arkadelphia 47-yard line. They're going to mark it short of that, I believe. They'll mark it, in fact, right at the 38-yard line, so it's fourth down and 1.
On the reception that time, Braden Walton putting the Panthers dangerously close to a first down. However, they still have that 1 yard to go, and you know that this Badger defense is going to make them earn every inch of it.
They had a 4th and 1 in the second quarter and threw the ball to the flat, wound up getting a first down, but they did not run the ball against this strong defensive line for Arkadelphia. Now we'll see what they will do, as Porter's a good runner at quarterback, and he is under center. Now they're going to run the option. The fullback, I believe, is going to make it. Ziegler is a big, tough running back, and they're going to push and push, and the Badgers are pushing, and now finally they'll blow a whistle. But it is enough for a first down. They're going to mark it near the 43-yard line.
Well, we've seen the Panthers break tendency on those 4th and short situations before. There was the pass out into the flats that picked up a first down earlier in the contest, but this time just going to old reliable, the old fullback dive with Ziegler, and it works to perfection. First down for the Panthers.
So, with the first down at the Arkadelphia 43, Ashdown lines up. Again, they like to run the ball, but they've been throwing some tonight. Here's a pass to the flat, a good run after the catch. There's 10, 15 yards and out of bounds, but a good run after the catch by Marks. He's got some good speed.
Really the first time that we've gotten to see Marks break away with a big play. Had a great run after the catch, after the short pass. And once again, the Panthers knocking on the door of the red zone of the Badgers. They've only been there one time tonight, and of course that was the stop on 4th down.
It was a 17-yard play. Good work by Ashdown. Pass into the flat, run after the catch. And line up again, still working under center. He's been in the shotgun one time tonight. Back to pass, under pressure. He will throw it. He'll throw it short. That's a catch, but rolling around with the catch at the 23-yard line for a short gain is the receiver. And catching it for Ashdown was Carson Horn.
Horn doing a great job there of keeping his hands under the football, making sure that it stayed separate from the turf. Because, Jeff, we've seen that several times, those trapped balls that end up resulting, those 2 or 3 yards could end up being a big difference in this drive.
Passing attack has had an effect here. The first drive of the third quarter for Ashdown. Porter back to pass, looking downfield. He'll fire it downfield. It's intercepted at the 10-yard line. To the 20-yard line, to the 30-yard line. This is Wagner past the 40-yard line. The ball came loose, but he'll fall on it at the 43-yard line of Arkadelphia. Another turnover favors the Arkadelphia Badgers as Braden Wagner comes up with the catch. Beautiful coverage. He turned around and caught the ball.
Wagner forcing the 4th turnover of the night for this Arkadelphia Badger defense. The first one was the scoop and score for Nykeeson Wimberly. He turned right around, got the first interception of the night. Michael Brownlee got an interception later in the half, and now add a 3rd INT to the list. That one belonging to Braden Wagner. And I'll tell you, Jeff, on that return, I really saw the return specialist nature of Wagner's play, because he does return punts and kickoffs for the Badgers. You could tell on that play with the field vision, able to get to the outside and taking it forward for a lot of yards, some of it coming back on a penalty, but still excellent return for the DB.
Yes, the penalty was on the return, so Arkadelphia will keep the football, but now at its own 29-yard line to start this drive. 1st down and 10 for the Badgers. Cade McBride, having a big night at quarterback, will hand it off. Here's a running play up the middle for a few yards, and that's going to be a gain up to the 32.
And you have to think that if the Badgers score on this drive right here, that should be the night for McBride and crew. However, you do want to give those seniors one last opportunity to march down the field for a score in front of this home crowd. And it's been a great home crowd here tonight at Badger Stadium.
And, of course, it's a rolling clock, so we're down to 5:46 to play in the 3rd quarter. Second play from scrimmage, Arkadelphia gets it out to Purifoy. To the 35, he avoids 2 tacklers. To the 40, to the 50, he's got good speed. To the 40-yard line, to the 30, he's going to go. To the 20, to the 10, Jay Purifoy in the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Jay Purifoy. We've seen the strength, we've seen the speed, and we've seen the field vision. In that last play, he puts all 3 together, able to break away, has green grass ahead of him. And I'll tell you, Jeff, there are not many people in this stadium that could beat Jay Purifoy in a foot race. Case in point right there. It's a Farm Bureau touchdown for the Badgers.
2 plays, 71 yards. The touchdown, a 68-yard pass play, McBride to Purifoy. And Arkadelphia has extended its lead. 4:56 left. We're in the 3rd quarter. The Badgers are going to nail the extra point, and Arkadelphia leads it 42-0 over Ashdown. We'll be back. This is quite a night for the Arkadelphia Badgers, and you're listening and watching Arkadelphia Badgers football.
The Board of Directors at South Central Electric Cooperative believes in the necessity of high-speed internet access in rural South Central Arkansas. South Central Connect was created to fulfill a need other internet providers were not able to provide in our area. South Central Connect, through our local cooperative, brings the necessity of internet service to your house, much like they did electricity in the 1930s. Sign up today at southcentralconnect.net or call 855-269-3429.
Arkadelphia scored in a 2-play drive, 71 yards. The touchdown coming on the 2nd play, of course. McBride to Jay Purifoy, 68-yard run after the short pass to the flat. Juked 2 defenders to the right. He came to the left and then just outran everybody.
He did, and the Badgers have a lot of dangerous targets. They kind of diverted the attention away from him on the right side, and that just left him with 2 defenders to beat, and after that, there was nothing separating him from the end zone.
Kick to the 25-yard line, looking for space, and now finding some up to the 30 to the 35-yard line. On the kick return for Ashdown, his 2nd consecutive return. That's Braden Walton. Walton looking for the open field because he has great speed, but Arkadelphia never really gave him a chance to hit full stride.
It'll be 1st down, Ashdown.
1st down and 10 for the Panthers. Ashdown will start at its own 36-yard line. Still a good crowd here. 68 degrees last time I checked during halftime. Beautiful night for football. Mid-October is turning to late October. Feels like football season a little bit out there, but still a nice 68 degrees. Pass into the flat, run after the catch for a little bit of yardage. On the catch for Ashdown, on the pass from Porter, is Carson Horn.
Ashdown again trying to go out into the flats. This one to decent success, but Jeff, that's been the recipe for success tonight for the Panthers. They've been trying to get around the edge. It's been tough sledding up the middle. And although they've won some battles, you also have to be careful because if you get around the defensive line of Arkadelphia, you still got to face the linebackers, and after them, you got to face the members of the secondary, and any of them can make a big play at any given time.
2nd down, 5 yards to go. They'll throw to the flat. There's the catch. Run after the catch. Going to be a first down up to the 46-yard line. Caleb Blankenship on the catch for Ashdown. They do spot it at the 46-yard line. First down and 10 for the Panthers.
And that's one thing you got to respect about the play of this Ashdown defense. Taking what the defense gives them, not feeling the pressure to have to hit that home run ball right off the bat, but slowly and methodically establishing that offense. That's some momentum that can work to their advantage as they go through the latter part of this conference slate.
Porter, the senior quarterback, fakes a handoff, wants to throw it to his right. He's got Ziegler short, but he'll throw a medium pass and miss it, incomplete. Had the short receiver for some yardage. He tried to go for a first down, though, and missed his target. Second and 10 from the 46-yard line. We're down to 1:04 left in this rolling clock of the third quarter. Arkadelphia 42 and Ashdown 0.
Going back to that last play, Cade McLean blanketed the receiver on that excellent play. That was a textbook coverage play run there by McLean. He made it very difficult for that wide receiver to get in a good position, and as a result, it falls to the ground.
On second down, and a flag goes down, going to be a false start, I believe. Going to be, oh, well, he took up too much time, so it's going to be 5 yards. I tell you what, I've discovered a new advantage to the open window. We've talked about it a lot because we love the first time ever we've got an open window in front of us at Badger Stadium, but the fact that cheerleaders are throwing footballs toward us is a nice advantage. We might be able to catch a football, and we've never had that opportunity before we had an open window. So far, I haven't seen a cheerleader that has quite the form to get it up this high, but that might happen. We'll see. We'll let you know if any of us get injured. Oh, they do have a slingshot. Oh, it kind of went sideways. That's the end of the third quarter, bringing you some play-by-play of cheerleader passing. It is Arkadelphia 42, Ashdown 0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of action in just a moment. This is Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters is locally owned and operated by James and Tara Rollins, who were both raised here and continue to be active in our community. Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters offers a variety of services from engine and transmission replacements to brakes, front end alignments, tire repair and replacement, and engine diagnosis on most makes and models. Stop by Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters at 1802 Pine Street or give them a call today at 870-210-5269. Supporting Arkadelphia for years, Arkadelphia Tire and Outfitters says, Go Badgers!
We have reached the fourth quarter of action. It is Arkadelphia 42 and Ashdown 0. Arkadelphia has had a beautiful night offensively, defensively, special teams. Molinari has made all of the extra points again tonight. We need to go back and count how many in a row he has made because how many did he make last week? Was it 8?
He had 8 in a row last week.
Wow, and he's already hit 6 tonight. What a super job.
Jeff, we have a casualty with the slingshot. One of the cheerleaders popped her little brother in the nose with one of the footballs. So.
Yeah, well, maybe we don't want one to come through the window then. Second down, and flags go down, and once again, Ashdown is struggling. They had a delay of game to make it 2nd and 15. Now we've got encroachment against Arkadelphia, so that put the ball back to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. So that one did go against the Badgers. Ashdown lines up. More of a veer formation this time. Now they're going to send a person in motion. They're going to fake the wide and throw the deep pass, but there's nobody there. His receiver ran a stop pattern to the 30-yard line. He threw it down to the 15. So just miscommunication from the quarterback and his receiver. That can happen, Chase, when you've got a running team that is trying very hard to pass the ball tonight.
They are, and credit the Arkadelphia pass rush and the secondary. It's been those combined efforts that has made this a tough night for Ashdown's passing unit. Try to drop back, but by the time you've taken your 3 steps back, the Arkadelphia defensive pass rush has already taken 3 steps of their own. They're right in your face, having to throw it right downfield. And the DBs and linebackers have done an excellent job of closing up lanes tonight.
On third down, the quarterback will drop the ball, and Arkadelphia says that they've recovered the fumble, and they have. Arkadelphia got the fumble recover. Coming up with the ball was Moody. What a nice play by the young defensive lineman. It's a night for defensive linemen, isn't it?
It is. That is the 5th turnover of the night for this Arkadelphia defense. And I'll tell you, Jeff, 2 of those, now 3, have been from defensive linemen, 2 of them coming from Nykeeson Wimberly, an interception and a fumble return for a touchdown, and then Moody adds a fumble to the list. But we also can't forget Katie Young, who had a rushing touchdown.
He's one impressive-looking tailback in that short yardage formation. Arkadelphia not in a big hurry now. They've got absolutely time to put the backups in. They're going to get some good experience tonight. There's a pass incomplete into the flat. Maddox Finley in at quarterback for Arkadelphia. He had some good action last week. Looked good, I thought. And the junior varsity team, of course, had a lot of success this year, Chase.
They did, and that's a promising sign for the future of Arkadelphia Badger football. You know, Coach Shucker talks about that all the time. It's those experiences, other than the Friday nights, not only in the summers, but in those JV opportunities that really give these guys a chance to develop and turn themselves into some great varsity players for this program. And for a team that prides itself on having a next man up mentality, the future certainly looks bright for Arkadelphia football.
Pass into the flat, incomplete. Ashdown still playing their starters on defense, but they don't have quite as deep a bench as Arkadelphia. You still would think they'd get some of their younger guys in at some point. From the 46 of Ashdown, third down and 10 for Arkadelphia. We are down to 8:38, clock running. Rolling clock here in the second half. Arkadelphia leads at 42-0. Badgers want to throw the ball. Finley looking downfield. He'll throw it short. That's complete. About a yard short of a first down, but a nice pass and a completion on the far side. On the catch for Arkadelphia. Really fine job by Jackson Jester.
And Jester, if you'll remember last week, he had the touchdown reception in the second half for the Badgers. Excellent route to the outside. Similar effect here, a little bit of a longer route, but he's able to haul it in stride.
From the 37, it's 4th down and 1 for Arkadelphia. 4th down and 1 for the Badgers. They'd like to keep this going with the young offense in. Here's a running play. He's going to have a first down. Good run on the carry for Arkadelphia was another strong and young running back. On the carry was Blake Moody.
Moody had 1 carry last week, but it was an impressive one as he took it up the middle for 16 yards, getting a few more reps here on senior night. But he's going to be another promising Badger to watch moving forward. Jeff, we're just getting a taste of the future of this program right now, but if this is any indication, there are going to be plenty of fun Friday nights coming up for the Badgers.
4th down and 1. He picked up 3. From the 37, they'll throw it into the flat, incomplete. Trying to get it out to Moody. Moody is a strong-looking character, and I think he's got quite a future for Arkadelphia. 2nd and 10. Clock's going to continue to run for Arkadelphia. Under 7 minutes left now. The Badgers looking like they could just produce another shutout. Arkadelphia looks to the side to get the play call. Bring you a lot of names here. Checking at receiver is Rogers. He's seen action in several games. Back to pass, Maddox Finley. His throw is complete to the sideline. He'll knock down the receiver. He will get back up, but a knee touched. So he is down. On the catch was Moody. 3rd down coming. Ball at the Ashdown 28-yard line, I should say, from the 28. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Closing in on 6 minutes left. Arkadelphia eating up the clock. That's going to help them keep this shutout. Running play. Making a nice cut, getting some yardage on the play is the Arkadelphia running back. Moody on the carry again.
Moody getting some.
I do have a correction. Sorry, Chase. I do have a correction because 38 did not run the ball. It was 38 running the ball, not 36. So on that carry was McClinton, who saw some good action last week also.
He did 5 touches and ran for over 70 yards. Certainly an impressive performance. And right there, he earns a Welch Funeral Home first down. Got some great blocks up front from some young offensive linemen.
Send a man in motion, give it to Moody. Moody is hit immediately, and this time is brought down by a couple of Panthers. Loss on the play, but Arkadelphia is just eating up the clock. 5:15 left in the game. Maddox made a couple of nice passes here late in the game. Quarterback of the future for Arkadelphia. Seen quite a bit of action in his sophomore year.
Kind of reminds you of Cade McBride, the situation that he was in a couple of years ago with Donovan Witten. Got some good experience as a sophomore quarterback, and that allowed him to, when he got into the position where he needed to be the starter for the Badgers, he was ready to go.
No doubt about it. Loss of 3, so 2nd and 13. Back to pass is Maddox. Finley, he'll get it to the sideline. There's a good move by Rogers after the catch. He's inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. Nice run after the catch.
Without a doubt there, as that's going to go down as a gain of about 10. Make it 3rd and 2. But as you mentioned, Jeff, the run after catch was a big part of that. Able to extend the play a little bit longer makes this a 3rd and much more manageable.
Rolling out is Finley under pressure. He wants to cut it up. He can run, and he'll make a yard or two and slide down. This would be impressive if they can make it to the end zone because it's still mostly first-teamers in on defense for Ashdown.
It is certainly a promising sign for these young players. As that was a smart football play there by Maddox Finley. He knew that he was about to face some pressure, didn't want to risk taking a big hit or having the ball pop free, so instead he just slides down just shy of the 1st down marker.
4th down, 1 yard to go, about the 14-yard line. Clock continues to roll. We're under 3.5 minutes left in the game. Arkadelphia up 42-0, and the second-team offense, mostly sophomores, trying to score one more time. Here is a running play for a 1st down and more. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, that's a 1st down. They tried to run a linebacker into the backfield before the handoff was made, but the Badgers went right past him.
That was a great adjustment there. The linebacker going straight up the gut, so instead a little bit of a counter play out to the right side. Pays dividends for the Badgers as now it's a Welch Funeral Home 1st down, and not only that, a 1st down and goal.
McClinton and Moody will both stay in the game at running back. Maddox Finley is the quarterback. 1st down and goal, ball at the 9-yard line. Well, just inside the 9, in fact. Running play, they're going to give it to McClinton. Man, I think he got a face mask. Let's see if that call is made. I don't see a flag. I do see a flag down. I think they're going to get a face mask against Ashdown. That will not stop the clock, by the way. We're down to 2:27, 2:25 now, and the clock continues to run. They will mark the penalty against Ashdown. Half the distance to the goal is going to take it down. Well, they didn't quite go half the distance to the goal, did they? I guess they went from the spot of the foul, which was a little behind the line of scrimmage. They'll put the ball at the 6-yard line anyway, and they'll get 1st down over again, so it's 1st down and goal. 2 minutes left, clock running. Arkadelphia just getting some good experience for the young guys. We'll see if they can score. They're in no hurry. Maddox Finley, the quarterback. Moody to his left, McClinton to his right. Now they're going to move and switch the formation. They'll get it to McClinton. McClinton wants to run wide. He is going to be hit at the 8, knocked back to the 10, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and he'll make it up to the 6. That's a good run. Good run late in the game for the young running back McClinton. He was tackled twice and just wouldn't go down. Finally made it up to the 6-yard line.
He wouldn't. It's a shame that he was only rewarded about a yard on that play because it was a spectacular play in space. However, it is 2nd and goal now from the 6-yard line.
Jackson and Tristan Smith lined up wide to the right side. Maddox Finley, the quarterback, looks to the sideline. They're going to have to snap it. Still under a minute to play, but they'll run out of time before they run out of clock here in the ball game, so they'll run at least one more play. Finley will keep it. He'll be caught from behind and pulled down at the 12-yard line, and that could be the last play of the game. The play clock and the game clock are going to match up, and Arkadelphia is going to say, well, that is plenty of points. 42 is enough for one night. And that will be the last play of the game as Arkadelphia is walking to the sideline. The Badgers, I do not believe, need to snap the ball. They are in sync, the play clock and the game clock, and nobody is going to stop the clock at this point. So Arkadelphia is going to win this ball game with a quick second half, a rolling clock, 35-0 at halftime. Final score, 8-7. We're counting it down. The final score is going to be Arkadelphia 42, Ashdown 0. Not unexpected chase for an Arkadelphia victory, but this was a dominating victory.
From the get-go in this one, Jeff, and we said it was going to start with setting the tempo on that first drive. That's exactly what Arkadelphia did. Faced some adversity early, overcame an early fourth down, able to punch it in, and then the defense starting to offer up some help too. Nykeeson Wimberly gets his fumble return for a touchdown. Very next drive he goes out there, gets an interception. At that point, you set up the offense, it's 21-0, and Badgers just never looking back in this one.
Interception, setting up some short drives for touchdowns, a defensive touchdown. Every extra point was made. Offense, defense, special teams, everything looked good tonight.
It did. We've also got to give one more shout out to Seth Molinari. Another game going perfect. He goes 6 for 6 tonight on PATs after going 8 for 8 a week ago. It's been quite an impressive stretch for him. And then on the defensive side of the ball, the list could go on. You had KD Young, he gets a sack, and not only that, on the offensive side of the ball, he ends up taking it in for a touchdown on a run play inside the 5-yard line. And there are just so many excellent performances to talk about. Michael Brownlee with an interception. Plenty of great things to talk about in this one. 5 different turnovers as a result of this contest, and
a couple of those were turnovers where Ashdown just dropped the ball, but Arkadelphia was alert enough, quick enough to get the recovery, and then they caused a couple of fumbles also and an interception or two as well. So Arkadelphia with quite a game tonight. Well, when we come back, we'll have the post-game show sponsored by Blend Luxury Real Estate in San Diego. Our buddy Kerry Garnett out there, champion quarterback for the Badgers in 1979, and now one of our sponsors from out in San Diego, California. We are especially proud to have him on board, and we're proud to bring you the post-game show in a moment of this Arkadelphia victory, Badgers 42, Ashdown 0. We will be back with Arkadelphia Badger football in the post-game show.
You belong at Patterson Federal Credit Union. No matter your financial needs, Patterson has products to help. We offer all types of accounts, savings, Christmas club, and a variety of checking accounts, including one specially tailored to teenagers. Certificates and IRAs are also available. If you're in need of a loan, we can help you with auto, recreation, personal, and home loans. Patterson Credit Union has several strategies to help build or repair credit, including our own credit card program, credit builder loans, and financial counseling. We're proud to have served Clark County for 65 years and look forward to many more years to come. Join us soon. You belong here.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
R&T Dixon's Exxon stores are proud to sponsor this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Locally owned and operated by Randy and Tanya Dixon, we welcome you to visit one of our Arkadelphia locations, located at each I-30 exit, or our new Tiger Mart store, located on 10th and Pine in Arkadelphia. R&T Dixon's Exxon stores say, "Go Badgers!"
Blend Real Estate, our partner. We are into the post-game show. This is Jeff Root, along with me as Chase Hartzell. I tell you what, Chase, it took less than 2 hours for Arkadelphia to score 42 points tonight, to give up 0 points and get a win over Ashdown. Now, I'll tell you what, Ashdown and Arkadelphia are longtime rivals. It seems like the two teams have been in the same conference no matter which classification in the state they qualify for, no matter what teams come and go from the conference. These two teams have always played each other, it would seem, and seldom have I seen a game like this where Arkadelphia was in complete domination of a team that actually has some talent but is struggling right now, and Arkadelphia made no doubt in the first quarter with 4 touchdowns that this was going to be a Badger win tonight.
Well, to be honest, Jeff, when the Badgers went up early 28-0 at the end of the first quarter, my mind immediately went back to the last time that the Panthers and the Badgers faced off here in 2021. Similar situation, 28-0 at the break, but Ashdown was able to rally. It ends up being a 5-point game at the end of that one. They only allow 5 points the rest of the way and score 28 in their own right. So this is a Panther team that we know is capable of making a comeback like that. The Badgers shut them down from the start tonight and did not let off the gas pedal the entire night, and you got to feel good for the defense in this one too, Jeff, because you take a look at the score right there. There have been a lot of excellent defensive performances over the last few years, but there has seldom been a shutout. There's just something good about that 0 up there on the scoreboard if you're a defensive player. You know that these guys have to feel good about that performance, especially for these seniors playing on their senior night.
And Arkadelphia is always going to play the younger guys in a game that is lopsided late in the contest. And so sometimes they'll give up a touchdown or two because they're younger guys, and oftentimes they're still playing the first team of the other team. But it didn't happen tonight. They were able to take enough control over the Ashdown offense, even as the second-team defense, to prevent them from scoring. And the second-team offense for Arkadelphia just ate up a lot of clock. And so Arkadelphia with the 1 touchdown in the third quarter from the first team offense, the second team then held Ashdown, held the ball, ran out the clock, and got the 42-0 shutout. Again, unusual to see Ashdown shut out by anybody because they have put a lot of people in Division I football. They've put some people in the NFL. We saw Monteric Brown, one of those Ashdown alumni, playing for Jacksonville last night. So we're talking about a town that produces some talent, but tonight they couldn't produce enough first downs and never produced a touchdown, and Arkadelphia got the big win. So the Badgers are officially hot, right? Now people are going to begin to notice them and realize that 0-3 start meant nothing, that instead the team is 4-0 in conference play, 4-0 against 4A opponents, and looking very strong.
And Jeff, I'd argue that if it wasn't for that 0-3 start, we wouldn't have seen the domination that we've seen in the last few weeks, because that was the entire purpose behind those games, was to get good experience against teams at a higher level. You face off against 3 opponents in a 5A South that's proving to be one of the best in the 5A classification this year, and you've got a couple of their contenders right there in the mix. That was a tough stretch for the Badgers, but it battle-tested them and prepared them for opportunities like these, to where when they get on the conference stage and the lights are shining their brightest, you're needing to get those wins to move up in the standings. You're going to get those victories, and so far the Badgers have shown up in dominant fashion in each conference game they have played in.
Now, if you are a regular consumer of this program on Friday nights, then you may be wondering, why is Chase still in the press box talking to Jeff Root instead of down on the field interviewing the head coach? Well, we sent Chris Babb down there tonight because it's senior night, and Chris remembers some of these guys that are back because he was the athletic director here, a coach here at one time, and he's got a lot of Arkadelphia connections for a guy from Cabot, Arkansas, and so he's down visiting with a couple of friends. He's going to pick up that interview and text that up to us, and we'll get that on the air very soon. So Chris is going to bring us the interview with Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker, but we're going to have statistics coming from Jim Rothwell after this break, and Chase is going to stay right here with us. We'll talk about offensive and defensive player of the game. There are a lot of nominees for that. We'll be back. This is the Blend Real Estate post-game show. Our buddy Kerry Garnett down in San Diego, and this is Jeff Root, Chase Hartzell, and soon to be Jim Rothwell with us for a stat report when we come back. This is Arkadelphia Badger football.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at idriveswa.com.
Contact Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance on Pine Street in Arkadelphia to see how they can help you with your insurance needs. Pennington Insurance has been locally owned and operated in Arkadelphia for 85 years. Jake is a proud Badger alum playing football and baseball at Arkadelphia. Call us today at 870-246-3700 or come see us at 2401 Pine Street to talk about your insurance needs. That's Agent Jake Knight at Pennington Insurance.
Cry-Like Pro Elite Realty in Arkadelphia utilizes innovative marketing strategies to attract buyers and sellers. We have built a strong reputation based on integrity, professionalism, and client satisfaction. Schedule a free consultation with one of our experts to discuss your real estate goals and get personalized advice. Cry-Like Pro Elite Realty has exclusive listings at the highly anticipated new subdivision, Northridge Estates. Stop by our offices at 203 South 26th Street or call 870-293-1111 for all the latest details.
This is the Blend Real Estate, Luxury Real Estate postgame show from San Diego, California. Our friend Kerry Garnett out there, champion quarterback for the Arkadelphia Badgers in 1979. Another former quarterback was with us tonight on the air during part of the second quarter. It was Jakari Howell, who was here to honor his brother, one of the seniors on this team. Chris Oliver also here. He's coaching for Ashdown, but he was here also because one of his siblings was also honored for senior night tonight. Now, that's a couple of quarterbacks. I don't know, Jim Rothwell, if you've ever played quarterback, but you're an awfully good statistician, so we want to employ you at that position, and I know you've got a report for us tonight.
I do. First quarter was pretty busy. It slowed down a little bit after that, but we'll talk about the offense first. Again, the things that's standing out the last few games is balance. 211 yards passing, 183 rushing. We've seen that rushing game improve drastically from the first game. We've seen Reed had 6 carries for 82 yards. McBride had 6 for 56. So again, just spreading the ball around. There was 8 different people ran the ball, 6 different receivers. McBride was 10 out of 13 for 185 yards, 3 TDs. He did have the 1 interception, but that was just miscommunication. It wasn't a bad throw, wasn't a bad decision, just a little miscommunication, and the ball just where the receiver, you thought the receiver was going to be, the defensive back was there. But great job by McBride. We've seen a great deal of improvement in his decision-making. And he is so poised standing in the pocket. He waits, and when he has to run, he'll take off. But that's one thing I've noticed. He doesn't panic back there and just run around. He'll stay, and then he's so strong once he gets going, he's going to get positive yardage for you. We saw a good job out of Finley, 3 out of 6. Not a lot of yards, but we've seen him get some good experience here. Percentage completion, we've seen drastic improvement of that. McBride was 10 out of 13. That's almost right at 80%, 75 to 80%. That's if you do that, that's all you can expect. Average reception yardage, a little over 16 yards of reception. That's and then almost a little over 7 yards of rush. So you're almost getting a first down every offensive play. Of course, you've got some big plays in there, and he has some short yardage. That's the one thing on offense I've noticed is the spreading the ball around, the balance that we've seen the last 3 or 4 weeks, particularly the last 4 weeks, as they've turned things around.
And we keep in mind as you go through the stats that we're talking about first-teamers that played a first half and 1 possession of the third quarter, and that's it. So even if nobody's going to get 125, 150 yards rushing, even if the passing yardage is spread around a little bit, we're still talking about an offense that scored when it had the ball. Some of those were just short drives.
That's right, short drives. First team basically just played a half, and total yardage, 394 total yards, with when your game is cut short, you're just running out the clock, you're not looking to make big plays or score. That's really good. And so that's one of the things. You can't just look at the numbers. You've got to see how effective those numbers were. And the 16 yards per pass completion, 7 yards a rush, that's the numbers that are important. That shows that you're making the plays to keep drives going, to make the big plays to score as well.
Jim, a really strong completion percentage for McBride tonight. He ran the ball well again tonight also.
He's just improved drastically. Just you see the calmness there. Even when he threw the interception, you didn't see the I don't know what you want to call that, but just he didn't worry about that. He just okay, that's done. We're over. Let's go, and then they score again. You know, and that's good. Defensively, 55 yards out of passing. They did throw some in the second half, a lot of short passes, but not much yardage. Rushing, 21 yards. This is a team that's what they do is rush. And you held them to 21 yards on 16 attempts. That's not even a yard and a half a carry. 55 and 76 yards total offense.
Yeah, that's really amazing. That's really amazing.
Defense. That's really good defense.
Yeah.
A lot of it was turnovers, though. I mean, you had the fumbles, you had the interceptions, but that's your defense, playing, hitting people, being in the right position, making the plays that they have to make. Overall, just a great game. We're seeing that the last 2 or 3 games. We've seen all the different phases, special teams. We've got people that can return kicks and punts. We've got a place kicker that's very consistent. Good coverage on the kickoffs. Good special teams play, too. You don't notice that as much in games like this, but it's there.
High school team that makes all of its extra points, not to be taken for granted at this level, and Molinari's just done a super job.
He is, and he's the type, I'm sure he's very diligent and works at it, and he's going to get better. He'll get the strength in his leg. Next year it'll be interesting to see the distance that he can put on.
You bet. Jim, thank you so much. We're going to take one more break and then come back to talk about players of the game and also the interview with head coach Trey Shucker. Jim, I want you to say one more thing, though. That is, after the first 3 games, 0-3, now in a 4-game win streak, all in conference action, Arkadelphia put itself on the map statewide at this point.
I would say so. They certainly are among the top 5 or 6 teams in 4A right now. We know there are some that, based on their record and what they've done, that are really dominant, but you can put Arkadelphia in there, and if they keep being this consistent, keep improving, we've seen much improvement in the offensive line from the first 3 games. If they continue that, they're going to make a playoff run.
All right, thank you, Jim Rothwell. Stay tuned now. We're going to hear from Arkadelphia head coach Trey Shucker. Chris Babb is with him on the field. Also going to talk about offensive and defensive players of the game when we come back. This is the Blend Luxury Real Estate postgame show, and you're in tune to Arkadelphia Badgers football.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Imagine a place where children can feel safe, a place where kids are empowered and accepted. In this place, you are special, you are unique, you are loved. Imagine a place where you can have fun every single day. We are that place.
We say thank you once again to all of our sponsors. And again, the sponsor tonight for our postgame show, as always, Blend Luxury Real Estate from San Diego, California, and Kerry Garnett, our friend out there and champion quarterback for the Arkadelphia Badgers, 1979 championship, first championship for John Outlaw. Speaking of Arkadelphia's successful coaches, let's hear from Trey Shucker down on the field.
The Victoria's head coach Trey Shucker. Coach, just like last week, quick start offensively, scoop and score defense, and it really got you off to a quick start. That has to be a good recipe for a coach.
No doubt. Our defense has been the strength of our team this entire year, and very proud of our guys for how they perform tonight. Anytime you score on defense, it's huge for momentum. That happened, and we got the momentum, and we held on to it, and we just rolled from there. But very proud of our team overall. I thought our offense was pretty efficient, especially early, and created opportunities to score, and really did a good job and did what we needed to do.
Let's talk about that offense. We talked on the broadcast about the offensive line. Seems to be a growth each week, and just making holes and some strong running from your running back and quarterback as well.
It really is. It's our O-line has improved so much from the very start of the year. Those guys are really coming on and showing some aggression. And, our running backs are seasoned. They know what to do, and they're strong runners. And so it's nice having those guys, some older guys in the backfield, especially with some younger guys up front.
Go ahead and get her.
And, but no, our run game is doing really good for us. And our pass pro is getting better as well.
All right, Coach Shucker, congratulations. Non-conference next week, but move to 4-0 in conference.
Yep, non-conference next week. We're 4-0 in conference, and the next time we get to play at Badger Stadium will be for a conference title against Malvern. So very excited about our position and what we have ahead of us. We still got to take care of business. Non-conference game's still going to be important to us and mean something. It's another opportunity to play and an opportunity to get another win and get better, and then conference championship following after that.
There you go. Coach Shucker, Remy, congratulations.
Thank you. Go Badgers.
Oh, I love that. Little family touch there from Coach Shucker. Big victory tonight for Arkadelphia. Mercy rule game, a good sportsmanship rule, I should say, game. 42-0 Arkadelphia. Let's talk about offensive and defensive players of the game. Well, look at the roster. You can pick 6 or 8, or you can pick 1. Lots of players deserve the defensive player of the game tonight for Arkadelphia, but I'm kind of thinking about one in particular.
There's one in particular for me, too, and I'm going to see if we're on the same page here, Jeff, because it's not often that you get a scoop and score and a pick six, or excuse me, not a pick six, but an interception in the same game as a defensive lineman.
Yes,
but that's exactly what happened with Nykeeson Wimberly tonight. He got the fumble recovery for a touchdown early that was scarily reminiscent of the one that we saw in the first quarter last week against Waldron with K.D. Young. And then he turns around the very next drive. He's covering a wide receiver in coverage like he's a DB, goes and ball hawks it and takes it back 10 or 15 yards.
I'm with you 100%. Now, we will mention that other people were in on other turnovers because there were a host of turnovers tonight. This defense really produced a great number of turnovers. Even when Ashdown simply dropped the ball, Arkadelphia was there to recover before Ashdown could get to it. So that's good work by the defense. You might mention a couple of those guys, and then I'm going to close it by agreeing with you on Wimberly.
Well, there you go. Braden Wagner was another one that came up with an interception, had a nice return at the end. Also got to remember Michael Brownlee. He had that one play where it seemed like he was the wideout that was running the route, but he was in defensive coverage, ends up making a great play, diving for the ball deep. And we also can't forget Moody's fumble recovery late. That counts for 5 turnovers total tonight, and that's a big reason why you see the goose egg on the scoreboard for Ashdown. But it's also a big reason why you see 42 points up there for Arkadelphia, because the defense put that offense in pretty good shape.
Yeah, they really did. Had some short drives for touchdowns. And, of course, defensive tackle Caden Young, a senior on senior night, scores from the tailback position, running some offense as well. But I'm with you. Wimberly, the junior on senior night, comes up with a huge game because it was just 7-0 when he got the fumble return for the touchdown. Then immediately after that, an interception as he dropped back into coverage. Again, that was not a tip ball that just fell in his hands. He was covering a defender and made the interception. Wonderful play by Wimberly. So he's our defensive player of the game. Let's talk about an offensive player of the game.
Well, Jeff, I want to get your thoughts on this first because I actually have one unit in mind in particular for this game.
Oh, you're going to go unit on me. You're not going to pick one player.
It's tough for me to pick one when they all played so well tonight.
Everybody played very, very well. You know, I thought the offensive play of the game of many was that wonderful run by Kyle Reed. But, of course, Reed was not a guy who's going to handle the ball 20 times tonight, so I'm not going to pick just him. I just want to mention that beautiful run that he made, 66-yard scamper to the 11-yard line. A couple of plays later, it's a touchdown. But I thought the player of the game offensively really, I think it's got to go to the quarterback, McBride, just simply because we're talking about a guy who was 10 for 13 passing, beautiful job of passing, ran really, really tough on the inside, needed short yardage. He got you 3 or 4 instead of 1. And he also was able to escape defenders and make a play when it looked like he might be sacked on a couple of occasions. So I'm going to say McBride, but I'm not going to disagree when you say that more than one person deserves it tonight.
Well, the group that I'm looking for is the one that opened up the opportunity for Kyle Reed, the one who protected Caden McBride to make the plays that he did, opened up the holes for D'Angelo Buckley. Kyle Reed, you had some space created for the wide receivers, and that's got to go to this offensive line. The offensive line tonight had a tough task ahead. We know that Ashdown is a scrappy team that loves to battle in the trenches. This is an offensive line that's fairly young. You know, they've had to learn on the job pretty much this year, facing off first against some quality 5A South opponents, moving right into the fire with 4A. But, Jeff, they stepped up and exceeded expectations tonight in my eyes. Without them, you don't have these explosive offensive plays happening because you just had such excellent blocking, not only right at the line of scrimmage, but you had the downfield blocks. I'm reminded of one from Mr. Carroza on that long Kyle Reed run, and there are 3 or 4 other ones that could go in there as well. You look down the line, these offensive linemen, each one of them, it felt like, was playing to the best of their ability tonight, and the result was a big-time Arkadelphia win.
I not only agree with you, I think that Carroza block was my favorite block of the game because he was on the corner. Because of his block, Buckley had 20 more yards and a touchdown. It was a beautiful thing. I'm with you. The offensive line, a super job. As Jim Rothwell said moments ago, an offensive line that is improving in every game and making a big difference for Arkadelphia. And even though we don't normally have a special teams player of the game in our broadcast, we just got to mention one more time Seth Melinari.
He has been phenomenal, and it's hard to believe sometimes that he's just a sophomore because of how consistent that he is. And, you know, Jim was alluding to this as well in his stat breakdown. You know, you can teach the strength and you can develop that over time. It's tough to develop consistency, and a lot of times for guys it takes them a year or two to get settled into the system. Not Seth Molinari. He has had a lot of opportunities to go out there. With all those opportunities, you'd think there'd be opportunities to make mistakes, but you look at these last 2 games, perfect 14 for 14 on PATs. It's tough to beat that.
All right. Close it out by a little preview. We're talking about a trip to an unusual place next week, a place that I have never called a game and a place that Mr. Rothwell is very, very attached to. It's Fordyce, Arkansas. Its history, it's going to be a fun game, is it not, to go to Fordyce and play against the Redbugs?
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you what, Paul Bear Bryant Stadium is something else. There's something about those Friday nights in Fordyce, Jeff, and it's going to be amazing to be there. Not only that, have a local guide with us there, too, to go along for the trip. I actually had a chance to go down there and research an article on Ouachita head coach Bill Walton, who started his coaching career down there at Fordyce, and I can tell you that this is a football-hungry community. This is a community that is used to winning. They love their Redbugs. As soon as you cross the city limits, you're going to start to see those images of the Redbugs all over town. It's such an amazing atmosphere to get to be there. There's nothing like it in Arkansas.
You'll get to hear the train probably during the game.
That is true. You're going to hear the train at least twice.
It's going to be an event. We're going to look forward to it, and that'll be Arkadelphia in a non-conference game next week against Fordyce, and then, of course, the big contest that we'll talk about later on as Arkadelphia is going to wrap up the regular season and march on to the playoffs. This is a playoff team, and right now they're looking like a high seed.
They are, and Coach Shucker alluded to it in his interview. The next time that the Badgers are playing here, they're going to be playing for a conference title. It's weird for us to say that just after 4 conference games that the stage has already been set, but the Badgers have done all they can do leading up to that last week in conference play. They've taken care of business against every other opponent. They've not only won those games, but won them by sizable margins. And now you have that big last test on homecoming night here at Arkadelphia, and that's going to be against the Malvern Leopards. Everyone's going to have that circled on their calendar because that one's not going to just have implications for the conference title, but you look at the statewide seeding, and you have to think that whoever comes out victorious in that one, you get excellent seeding as the number 1 overall. You get that first week of bye, and you have to be in great shape at that point going into the rest of the playoffs.
It's just going to be a lot of fun, and we hope you will all join us. Some football history next week in Fordyce, and then Arkadelphia and Malvern, and then on to the playoffs, and Arkadelphia is looking very, very strong. I want to say thank you to Chris Babb, his work, of course, as our engineer and at halftime and in the pregame and in the postgame. I want to say thank you to Coleman Callan for our fine video work that he always provides for us, for Jim Rothwell for not only his work tonight on stats, but his guidance on where to eat in Fordyce. I want to say thank you to my longtime partner now. I mean a longtime partner now, and that is Chase Hartzell. This is Jeff Reed. I want to say one more time, our thoughts and prayers go out to the Wingfield family. Austin Wingfield was a wonderful member of the community and a leader in the community for decade after decade, and we will always have fond memories of him, and we want to support the family. We hope you will too in your thoughts and prayers at this time. Of course, also a sponsor of Badger football, as always a supporter of Arkadelphia Public Schools in the city of Arkadelphia. This is Jeff Reed, everybody. The final score, Arkadelphia 42 and Ashdown 0. Good night, everybody. And Abby, tell Mary Kate, Grandpa is on his way home.